trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance a home? At GMFS Mortgage, we make it easy because we're local. Our underwriting and processing happens right here in the Baton Rouge office. That means faster approvals, smoother closings, and real people who understand your needs. For over 26 years, we've helped our neighbors in Louisiana achieve the dream of home ownership. Visit GMFSmortgage.com to get started today. We are GMFS Mortgage, your local lender.
GMFS. NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70806.
Time to get moving with the YMCA Corporate Cup, Saturday, March 29th for the 5K Run Walk held in downtown Baton Rouge. Meet us at North Boulevard Town Square for the race headquarters and post-race party. There's running through downtown and Mid-City, featuring 4 race divisions and awards to winners. Register as an individual or as a corporate team. The YMCA Corporate Cup, where it's all about living longer and healthier and building team camaraderie. Visit ymcabr.org to register.
You want your ride to shine? Swing by K-Falls Auto Detailing near Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. With 30 years experience, we've got the skills for top-notch detailing and ceramic coating. Find your package at kfalls.com. That's KFAULS.com. Let us handle the details.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, March 25th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 81. In hour one of today's show, we'll recap LSU women's basketball's dominant win in the second round of the NCAA tournament and some LSU football news as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at @OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo! What's going on, guys? Welcome in. Another day of OTB. Here on 104.5 ESPN, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. It's a great place to come hang out. You're going to chat, get your takes in and whatnot. Hit the like button and please the algorithmic gods that rule our existence. We got a great show for you planned today. Yeah, we got a lot to cover in these 3 hours. It's that time of year. There's a lot going on. Nothing bigger right now for us than the LSU women's basketball team last night. What's going on, though, guys? How we feeling today?
Feeling pretty good. How about you, man? You okay? You good?
No, I don't know.
I know. I was about to ask you this.
No, I don't know. I am desperately trying to fake it till I make it, but there's just been it's been just I don't know, just a weird morning of I don't know. It's one of those Murphy's Law sorts of mornings, but. We're just gonna, do the show. And we're going to do the show and be good to go. So that's what we're going to do.
Murphy's Law, does that mean we lost to those son of a guns again in something?
Who are we talking about?
Murphy, Sam, and Jody.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no off days for Murphy Company. But what's going on? How are we doing? What everybody get into last night?
We had some baseball going on, but I was still, obviously eye hustling the basketball game. Because I was shooting off messages to EJ Manuel, Danny Cannell, as many as I could get out after the third quarter. Because remember, coming in, not only we talked about it yesterday, nation's leading scorer for Florida State. They're a really good team. You got to kind of be careful. You go back and you listen to some of the selection shows, and they're like, hey, Florida State, the path, I like it. They're a team. They're hot. They've got a guard that can take over, like all those narratives, and like just kind of didn't really mention LSU. Even when I was doing off campus yesterday, like the people that we had on, like they were pretty heavy on Florida State. Like, I can't believe this is a 10.5 point spread. There's no way this game is going to be a 10.5 point game either way.
Well,
and I'm like, oh, you're right, because it's going to be 30.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, look, and it's a game that featured some very curious ebbs and flows. None more ridiculous than that third quarter that Jake was alluding to. After a tough-fought first half in which LSU has some foul trouble, right? Flage, Michaela, an early couple of fouls, having to sit on the bench more than they generally do. But the depth of LSU showing up in a big way, as despite not having your best players out there on the court, you still held your own in that first half, and you go into half up by 1. And what that set up was a second half where Flage, Michaela, and company, well, they were rested. They were ready to go. They mentioned what's the top scorer's name from Florida State? Why am I blanking?
Tanaya Latson.
Latson, yeah.
So Latson, yeah. Coach Mulkey talking about after the game, the big defensive adjustment they made earlier in the game. They were trying to fight over the top of the screens for Latson. She was just getting to the paint at will. So they said, you know what? We're going to go underneath. If you shoot a 3 and you make it, we'll live with that. That's where we're going to live or die. And, well, it ended up being a great tactical change that bore a ton of fruit, and LSU ends up, after a 31-6 third quarter, ends up 40-point winners, 101-71, a statement win from the Tigers. And again, one that showed off depth, right? An ability to win in multiple different ways, an ability for some of the deeper parts of your bench to step up, which when you're talking about a tournament run, and how do you survive the travails and twists and turns of a tournament? Being able to kind of adapt to the situation at hand is one of the key elements of being able to win a championship. So a really massive win for LSU to send them into the Sweet 16.
Yeah, Florida State, they played their game. I mean, you mentioned Latson. She got 30 points, but look, she averages 26 points per game. And so it's like, okay, once you make that adjustment, then you have to stop everyone else, and they did. And Florida State only had 3 bench points in this game, and Florida State was going to live by the 3, die by the 3. They had 2 starters that shot 10 threes apiece. As a team, LSU only shot 10 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Right? So LSU's defense, they stood up, they stood tall in this game against a really good offense. You mentioned the bench production. It wasn't even necessarily points. Now, they did have some people score there at the bottom of their bench, but it was the rebounds, it was the assists, it was the steals that the bench was getting for LSU. Had to play a lot of minutes, certainly that they probably weren't counting on in a game of this magnitude. So it was a total team effort for the Tigers.
Yeah, we said it yesterday. This was on paper a matchup where both offenses were elite, but LSU objectively had a better defense. And the box score reflects that. Again, LSU ends up shooting 56% from the field with 29 assists, okay? That is a very well-flowing offense. It is creating a lot of open looks. Florida State, on the other hand, shoots 35% with only 12 assists. LSU also did a good job managing the turnovers, holding on to 11. So, again, I mean, so what is that, a 50-point win in which you double up the score of your opponent? And now a 40-point win over the nation's leading scorer.
30 points.
30 points, excuse me. A 30-point win over the nation's leading scorer and a good Florida State program. LSU looking like they are in fine form entering the tournament. And really, when you look at how Coach Mulkey managed the end of the year, kind of letting players rest, trying to get them healthy, to see Flage come back and not miss a beat makes you really confident for what comes next.
Yeah, you're averaging 102 points in the NCAA tournament. I mean, you've already broken your record for points in a tournament, and you damn near did it again. So your offense is clicking on all cylinders. You feel like you're healthy, fully healthy for the first time in a long time. If you can get the production that you got from your bench players as well, because LSU at times this year, they've only been able to play 7 people, and that's at maximum. And in this game, you're playing, 9 people, and you're counting truly on 7 of them, not hoping that they can give you some production. It sets up a great matchup. NC State's a really good basketball team. NC State has dominated their 2 tournament games as well. So LSU opened up small favorite, 2.5-point favorite against the 2 seed in NC State. all the way up in Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, it's the Sweet 16 is here, which means the big dogs are here. Unfortunately, an absolutely brutal break last night. Juju Watkins going down for USC. So one of the other national championship caliber teams losing their best player. Look, you still got Texas and Tennessee in this thing. Huge credit to what Tennessee has built there this year. Still got Notre Dame, TCU in this thing. Duke, North Carolina about to square up in a great rivalry Sweet 16 matchup. And, of course, South Carolina and UCLA all still out there as well. So it's
5 seeds. A 5 seeds the highest that you got.
Yeah. Yeah. The women's tournament, the women's basketball just has more kind of superpowers. Yeah. And so it generally is a bit more top heavy. And this year is no different. And so it's kind of fascinating, right? Because now you watch all of these teams almost not warm up. That's disrespectful to those other teams, but like this is where the real battles are going to kick in. And for LSU, it starts, what's today, the 25th? So what is that, Friday, the 28th? March 28th, 6:30 Central on ESPN, all the way up there in Spokane.
Yeah, they'll head out today. That's such a far trip. The basketball team will head out like immediately. I wouldn't be shocked if they're already probably meeting up at the basketball ops to go ahead and get on a bird and get out to the Pacific Northwest. That's long travel. You don't have really that much time in between. Both teams coming across the country. Also, like, so many times in women's basketball, it's been like, okay, well, here's the 2 teams that can go win a national championship.
Yeah.
You laid it out. UCLA, LSU, NC State, Duke, South Carolina, Texas. USC with the injury is going to be tough, but what they've done all year. UConn, Notre Dame, or TCU, whoever wins that game. Like, there might be 8 teams out of 16 that if they won the championship, it wouldn't be shocking, where that's not really happening in women's basketball.
No, and that just speaks to the growth of the game, of which Coach Kim Mulkey has been an integral part for many, many years. Of course, we'll talk to Coach Mulkey coming up, depending on travel and whatnot. But a massive win for the LSU women as they advance to the Sweet 16. Promises made, promises delivered. Continue to have great success in this Coach Mulkey era. It's actually kind of shocking how quickly you can start to take the Sweet 16 for granted with where this program was just a couple of years ago. All right, when we get back, look, guys, come join us, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. We got some football talk coming up next.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. That's the website. On said website, you can shop right there on the site with All-Star Toyota Express. You can search the inventory by make and model, by keyword, by budget. You can set up a service appointment. And remember, that service center collision center is open to all makes and models. Go get your car worked on. You mentioned OTB. You get $250 towards your deductible. So support those who support us. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yeah, go to the website today and check out what you can buy new, what you can lease, and what you can rent. And we tell you every single day, because it is true, everything is available in all 3 of those processes. So no matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered. And if you've got a trip coming up for spring break, maybe you're already planning that summer trip, go ahead and call Miss Lisa Sessions today in that rental department and get everything reserved. allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app.
Back at it, where sports talk meets pure chaos. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Tay, go ahead and get some of those Cam Ward links ready to go. Jake, did you see the Cam Ward throw at Pro Day yesterday? And look, I know. And look, I get it. It's on air. It's not real football. I don't care. It was incredible. Every now and then a throw transcends and it becomes something special. And it doesn't mean he's going to be a great pro. It doesn't mean he should be number one, though that's a discussion I actually want to have here because I feel like he is an absolute lock to be number one right now. But it does mean that the throw was awesome. Rolling out, fading away, throwing 55 yards with perfect timing. Just plain awesome. I thought it was also interesting, Jake, in reading about the Pro Day, the big takeaway from Pro Day seemed to be his arm strength.
Right.
Which is a stark contrast from Shadur Sanders, his main competition. So, again, Cam Ward solidified himself. I mean, God, look at that throw. Play it again, Tay. I mean, boom, rolls out left. And it's not a full-size field, so don't be tricked. It's not a 90-yard toss, but it is 55, perfectly in stride, fading away. Unless you say, okay, well, this is not real football, pull up the Chase Daniel link there. And both Dan Orlovsky and Chase Daniel, independently of one another yesterday, released videos breaking down Cam Ward and saying, look, do not overthink this. This is the number one pick in the draft. But if you go to the last throw in the Chase Daniel video, Tay, it's about 2.5 minutes. You find me the last throw. What's that? What's that?
You don't want audio with this?
No, I do not. But the reason why I bring it up is because it's extremely similar to what you just saw, only in a game And it is insane. So here he gets the pressure, rolls out, keeps his eyes downfield, even though he's got said pressure, and watch his throw that he delivers. Same thing, kind of fading away, throwing against his body back in the end zone between the two defenders. I mean, are you kidding me? That's nasty. That's nasty. Taylor, you're a resident mock draft expert. Do you think Cam Ward number 1 overall?
Titans need a QB. I mean, it looks like everybody across the board pretty much thinks Kim Ward's the best guy, so I don't see why not.
But do you believe that he's a true number 1 overall pick? Because that's where the conversation seems to have changed for me. That many people have not up to this point, but now it seems like people are saying, no, actually, this guy is worthy of a number 1 selection, not just being taken there because he's the best of the bunch.
I don't know. I mean, it's not his fault. Again, we brought this up with Shedeur Sanders last week. Like, the lack of big games, but again, that's not his fault. Like, he can only kind of play who he's playing against. I don't know. Something about Cam Ward's missing for me. I don't really know what it is. He makes all the throws though.
He just doesn't like him, I guess. He just doesn't like Miami. You don't like Incarnate Word. You don't like Wazoo. What's up?
I don't.
Jake, do you believe that he's a number 1 pick? Like, not just by circumstance, but. Good?
No, I think he's worthy of a number 1 pick. I think when you look at how he progressed, how he went to different offenses and continued to get better, continued to make his teammates better. Like, what was he going to measure? That was going to be important. So he was over 6'1". Okay, check that box.
Okay, look at old tall boy.
He kept his turnovers down, but also had like a free will style of play.
Yeah.
Right, so he could improvise but not be careless with the football. Again, every year you look at his stats, he just continued to get better. I mean, yards per attempt, touchdowns, obviously like he's going to have better numbers at the FCS level than he did the FBS level. But when he went from Incarnate Word to Wazoo, like you look at how that team changed as well. It wasn't just him as a player. I mean, the complete team changed. And he also, like, Mateer was there during his time. That's a damn good quarterback that he beat out.
I was watching Mateer highlights yesterday. If I was an Oklahoma fan, I'd be hyped.
You should be.
To be fair, I did not watch a lot of Wazoo last year, given that they were kind of relegated to the desert.
They were really good, but yeah, they were in a 2-team conference.
But my God, I mean,
when Oregon State wound up actually winning the Pac-12, right? Like, even though Washington State had the better record, Oregon State beat them head-to-head, so they claimed the title.
Oh, that's funny, winning the Pac-12. Pac-12 championships. Put the
banner
up.
Because they beat Washington State.
Okay. So Cam Ward, it feels like, is the only quarterback in this draft where teams are actually excited about his NFL prospects. Seems like people are kind of dragging their feet on Shedeur, and everybody else, there's just kind of like, oh, well, maybe. Like, there were some Quinn Ewers Saints talk. Didn't they go out to eat? Quinn Ewers, man, interesting that he chose to go to the NFL and turn down $4 to $6 million a year, foregoing that money. He's going to make less money because he said that he did not want to taint his time at Texas and his reputation at Texas, which is interesting growth considering that out of high school, this is a player that literally reclassified and went all the way to Ohio just to get NIL.
And then came back, the next
And then
year.
by the end of this thing said, you know what? No, I'm going to actually say no, take less money, and try to make it much less money. I mean, he would have made $4 to $6 million for 1 year. He might not even get that for a whole contract by the time he's drafted. Yeah. Are there any other quarterbacks, Jake, besides Ward, that you think people are genuinely excited about?
I'll also say this one more thing on Cam Ward. Name a receiver outside of Restrepo that he played with in college.
I can't name them.
Well, that's kind of a point.
Yeah.
Like,
he had a couple good tight ends, but like to Jake's point, like receiver.
Oh, well, who's the guy, the senior boy, Arroyo?
Yeah, but like talking about like at Wazoo, wherever he's been, like I'm not saying he did it on his own, but he created a lot on his own.
And
Restrepo ran a 4.88 or something yesterday.
I don't mean to make this into like a weird Miami segment. I want to do the number 1 overall pick thing, but
right.
I did want your interpretation of the Restrepo 40 because I know this is a guy who obviously knows how to get open.
Yeah.
He's a route runner. He knows how to find space. He was awesome in college, but he's a wide receiver that just ran a 4.8.
Mm-hmm.
Why
he's also like 5'10", 5'11".
Why his
tiny.
agent let him run, I have no idea.
Well, he had to. He didn't run the combine, so he would have had
your ankle.
My brother-in-law said the same thing.
I mean, do you agree? Like, I mean, what would be worse, not running or putting a 4.8 on paper?
I know, and you're like, just hey, leave it to their imagination and go off your tape. I know it's a strategy. And listen, here's the deal. And you heard me go off on it whenever it happened. All these people, Joe Cools didn't want to do anything at the combine. I'm saving it for the pro day. The problem with that is if you have a poor pro day, that's it. If you have a poor combine, you have a pro day. You have the ability to go back out there and have another opportunity. And oftentimes, you know what you need to work on in that 2-week span. You can go grind on it, make a small adjustment, and improve yourself. But if you go to Indy, I'm just going to do drills. Okay, but just know your times are going to be final at pro day.
Well, something tells me Streppo, though, probably wouldn't.
Maybe not, but we like Jarvis ran like a 4.7 or something like that at the combine. They ran like a 4.59 at pro day.
So what do you think? Is Streppo done?
No, he'll get a shot. He's Miami's all-time leading receiver.
I know, that's crazy.
He'll get a shot. He'll probably get drafted. Now, he didn't stand out at the Senior Bowl, and we were both there, obviously, like Lab McConkey did.
That's true.
And Lab McConkey ran a 4.3. Right? So, like, if he would have stood out at the Senior Bowl and ran a 4.8, I've been like, okay, it's bad optics. I get it. But the guy was always open.
Yeah.
It wasn't that narrative for him down in Mobile.
But, yeah, crazy for Xavier Restrepo. But
I'm rooting for him. He's a great kid.
Yeah.
He'll get a shot.
Cam Ward looking like he's solidified himself as the number 1 overall pick. Hey, guys, if you want to feel better, stronger, faster, reach your full potential here in 2025, Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness are your experts help you do so. We are empowering men, okay, to great health, better sex, better life. We're no longer settling for mediocrity inside or outside the bedroom. And we have anti-aging programs, HRT, ED treatments, penile enhancement, the list of treatments that you can do to feel better and feel more confident are many. But the first step is you setting up the consultation and being willing to say, you know what? I'm not going to be embarrassed by this. I'm going to be honest about it. And then we're going to get on the path to fixing it. Okay? So we're not letting our own embarrassment create some sort of vicious cycle that keeps us where we're at currently. Gains on gains here in 25. Go to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. So LSU football, fresh off getting a commitment from the number 1 receiver in the entire country, gets another commitment from a big-time receiver. This time it was 4-star Jabari Mack, 6'1", 200. He's from Destrehan. Chooses LSU over Texas, A&M, Ohio State. Hell of an offer list here. Gotta love this quote from Jabari. Quote, "The best in the boot, stay in the boot." Nice job by the Tiger recruiting machine getting that instilled. And look, I know, again, like we said, it's impossible not to be a bit cynical on recruiting, and it's still early, and you have all the way till December. Yeah. But LSU currently with the number 1 class, and they just added the number 5 player in Louisiana, the number 11 receiver in the entire country, a top 300 cat in Jabari Mack.
Yeah, the only thing that can maybe get you more hopeful than it's been in the past, because we've seen – this is everywhere, not LSU. You get the recruit, you can't get to the finish line in NIL because somebody else comes in, they offer you more. But LSU's never had this much in their NIL fund. They've never had what they have currently right now. You've got head coaches putting up $1 million. You have a donor putting up $1 million, and you've got the fans matching $1 million. Like, you have initiatives right now that you didn't really have in place before. And so if you're an LSU fan, and also them being from Louisiana, that helps. They're not from, Michigan or California or Florida, like wherever. They're from Louisiana, so that helps. But also where you're at right now compared to where you were and what you have available to give out.
Yeah. So again, it's can they get it across the finish line? The resources are greater than they've ever been, like Jake's talking about. And it continues the odd, unexpected revitalization, or maybe not even revitalization, but the kickstart of the LSU fundraising arm that all began when Larry Ellison came in and stole Bryce Underwood for his 5th wife there up in Michigan.
Yeah.
And again, also, like, look, I always am a believer that when you're talking about a position like receiver, LSU having another big-time fall this year where Chris Hilton does a good season, Aaron Anderson, Nick Anderson. I mean, there's a ton of options, right? Barry and Brown. Who am I missing here? I know I'm missing some obvious ones. Hilton, Aaron, Nick, Barry and Brown,
Xavier Thomas.
Yeah. I mean, if those guys put up numbers, then all of these receivers are going to feel justified in doing so. Also, I mean, again, Cortez Hankton, dude, one of the biggest pickups that LSU's ever gotten, getting him from Georgia. It continues to pay dividends, and Georgia's receivers haven't done anything since Hankton left. So make sure you hang on to Cortez as hard as you can. Pay that man his money, as Malkovich would say.
And then also, I mean, you throw Tradez Green into that conversation.
Yes.
I know he's a tight end, but such a hybrid player that we saw what he can do in the bowl game when he's like a focal point of your offense. And then you went out and you got two more. Actually, you got a Y tight end and you got a tweener, an F and a Y.
Right, Bo.
So
old Bauer.
Yeah, who I still can't believe.
Old
I
Bauer
was called
Sharp.
more country than old Bauer Sharp, but
I think y'all are equally country.
You've put this. Really?
You and Bauer?
Man.
What?
All right. I'm gonna start leaning into it. No, that's what I'm saying.
Why is this? Why?
I'll tell you later.
You think it's a negative? It's because you.
No, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So, you've the way you formatted everything to replace what you lost. I mean, you lost your all-time leading tight end.
Yeah.
And you're going to really try to replace that production with three players.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think you got a great combination. And again, you go get three different type of tight ends. Well, you already had one, but he's making the transition back to tight end. Remember, at one point he was moved to receiver.
Yep.
A year ago.
He looks so funny lined up at receiver versus DBs. It's unbelievable. All right, so you have a ton of weapons this season. You have a ton of weapons committed, and it's up to the weapons this season to do well and keep these players committed. But shout out to Jabari Mack, top 300 player, 4-star receiver, Destrehan. The best players in the boot stay in the boot. All right, coming up next, talk a little midweek baseball. Cajuns. Revenge time for Cajunomics. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to trashrangers.com, trashrangers.com. Trash Rangers are your local waste removal experts, and so if you are in Livingston or Central Parish, you get to make a choice about who handles your residential pickup. Chances are you've seen the red cans popping up all over your neighborhood. Go find them on Facebook. Go look at the threads on how pleased people are with the service that they get from Trash Rangers. I mean, right there on the site, you see all of the 5-star reviews. And again, if you're a business owner and you need your removal needs met, look, we're a business as well. Okay, we understand how, what's the word I'm looking for? We understand that your needs can be multifaceted, and we are ready to meet said needs, whether it's front load dumpsters empty 1 to 6 days a week, any size roll-off dumpster, they got your Trash Rangers.
Yeah, go to the website today. Like T-Bob said, residential commercial service right there at the bottom of the website. Also, pick up the phone, give them a call. If you need a roll-off dumpster, they're going to tell you exactly which size you need. That phone number is 225-363-9053.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Welcome back to Off the Bench, where the takes are hot and the sports talk is questionable.
What's going on, y'all? Somebody give me a hot take to justify Big Voice Lady's rejoin there.
Taylor, I mean, if you don't have the hot take ready to go.
I mean, I just watched LSU women's basketball last night. They dominated. I mean, there's not really a hot takeaway from that. All right, I got one. Michaela Williams might be the best all-around player in women's college basketball. I don't know how hot of a take that is. She went 10 for 12 last night from the court, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. She plays great defense, scored 28 points.
Hell yeah.
Find me 5 players in college basketball that are better than Michaela Williams.
Yeah, they're going to say Paige Beckers and company, but
not all
Hannah
around.
Hidalgo, Juju Watkins, who went down.
She's also doing this at like 6 feet as a guard, which is like, that's tall for the women's game as a guard. I mean, she can do it all.
Do I have a hot take? I had one, and because I feel like I'm just walking through danger levels of brain fog right now, I can't remember what I was going to say. I feel like I'm driving on a bridge, and I can't see 6 feet in front of my face. What you got?
Jackson Dart will be a first-round pick.
Oh, that's a little fresh-baked hot take.
I don't know.
Fresh out the oven.
And I don't even think right now, I don't even think it's a question.
I don't
think
either.
it's a question.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
is
I
this
don't
what
know
they're
how it
saying
is
on
anymore.
the mock streets?
Yeah. Pretty much unanimous. Now, it depends on where he's going. Has been
multiple
different,
teams.
How y'all are saying this is making me think he may even jump Shadur, or no?
I don't think he'll get that high. I don't think he'll get that high, but I do think he'll be a first-round pick. There's quarterbacks that, like a Chase Daniel, that go over film and talk about the intangibles, that love Jackson Dart and love his ability to create on his own and all this. Like, my question would be, when he's faced an elite pass rusher, his game has kind of changed, or when he's faced a good pass rusher, even his game has changed and he has struggled in those contests. But you know how it is, T. Anytime that you don't have this quarterback draft like we had a year ago where it's like, okay, these 4 or 5 guys are going to go pretty early. Who can be the guy that nobody's talking about? Well, it's kind of been Jackson Dart. It's been Warden Sanders 1 and 2, and it's like, well, nobody else really took control. Well, Milrose had a disappointing pre-draft process. Will Howard had a disappointing combine.
Except for that 4.37.
Oh, yeah, but we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Like that was no surprise. Dylan Gabriel didn't have a great Senior Bowl. Like, so we could go over like some of the players that were trying to get to that number 3 spot, but I think it might be Jackson Dart, and I think he's going to be a top 32 player.
So it has to be like a Kenny Pickett draft to not have 3 quarterbacks go in the first round.
I mean, because even outside of who's the second quarterback taken in that class?
I don't know. I mean, that's what I think of as probably the worst.
I know he was second
draft
round. It was Willis and somebody else were right next to each other. Willis may have actually been 3. Okay, but T-Bob, you were bringing up Shedeur Sanders. Shedor's kind of weird because he could go 2, he could go mid-teens depending on who passes on him.
Yeah,
because Cam's going 1. Does Cleveland take him? I don't think they take a QB. If New York doesn't take him at 3, the Patriots aren't, the Jags aren't, the Raiders aren't, now that they got Geno.
What is Cleveland going to do then? Are they going to go
it sounds like
Penn
they're going
State?
Travis. A lot of people think Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, one of the 2.
Sweet. You'll have Abdul Carter, Myles Garrett, and win 4 games. God, how disappointing.
Because, they still have to pay Deshaun. They brought in Kenny Pickett as kind of like a fail-safe for him to come back from his Achilles. I don't think they take one this year.
Desmond Ridder was the second quarterback.
Okay, Desmond Ridder.
But were there 3 quarterbacks in that first round?
No.
No, there's only
Pickett
one.
was the only one.
Right, Pickett was the only one. Yeah, so there you go.
The next quarterback didn't go until 74.
And then last year, of course, you had the run on QBs, but then the kind of crazy thing is all of them seem to do pretty well.
Yeah.
Bo Nix was solid. I didn't think Drake May was very good, but I didn't watch Patriots super close, but people say Drake May was very good, so I think
he didn't turn the ball over.
Michael Penix was very strong when he got in for Atlanta at the end of the year. I think the Vikings really like J.J. McCarthy, as evidenced by the fact they have said no to Rodgers and whatnot and said we are riding with McCarthy. So it worked out last year. So Jackson Dart going to be a first-round pick. How about that? All right, so tonight, guys, midweek baseball back, and it's LSU versus UL. Those damn dirty Cajuns. Those same hoe-ass people that told on Cajunomics and tried to ruin a great community. But you can't kill Cajunomics. But I'm out for revenge tonight. I want LSU to absolutely smash this UL team, and smash they should. You're talking about a UL team that is not the UL team of norm. 11-14 on the year. LSU, of course, I think the goal is to not let a disappointing finish to the weekend roll into this. Jay Johnson talked about this team needs to have amnesia, lock back in, and go kick ass tonight.
Yeah, they do. And we talked about it yesterday. There's things that you can identify pretty clearly and say, hey, these are the things that we have to fix. These are the things that we have to work on. And it wasn't all doomsday. You didn't get swept. You did win a game. You had a chance to win the second game, and that's what you're trying to do on the road in the SEC. Now, that's not sunshine pumping. You do have work to do. You do have things that you have to improve on as you head into this weekend with another SEC series at home. And so you're going to get their best shot. That always happens. You're LSU. Anytime you play a team in state, you're going to get their best, and that's a good thing. It means you're going to get a lively midweek game. And so I'm not saying you go out there and you're not going to you don't throw your best bullpen arms, obviously. That's not what you do here in this situation. But what you can do is guys that you're wanting to step up, guys that you need to take that next step, certainly there in the bullpen in the back half of these games, this is when you run them out there and give them that opportunity.
Alondra, do you have a great idea of how you think LSU manages the arms tonight, what they seek to accomplish?
I don't remember how many pitches he gave you, but I know Jay said that you're not going to see William Schmidt in the midweek anymore.
That's true.
But
maybe you'll see William Schmidt in the midweek.
I mean, why not
he
give
said
him a chance?
He said it pretty offhand.
He said,
he didn't
it wasn't like a definitive.
No, it wasn't like, hey, I came here to say this. It was more like in the flow of conversation.
Yeah. And I did the Jay Johnson show last night, and Chris Blair had asked him something about how do you get the freshmen ready for the big moments, like how he ran him out there Saturday night versus Texas, right? And because it's hard to recreate that SEC environment, especially a road environment. And Jay said that whenever they were in Frisco, if you remember, Billy Schmidt came in, I don't remember which game it was, but he came in and he said that was kind of how he was preparing him and the closest that he could get it to an SEC road environment. So obviously not an SEC game tonight, but I mean, big game here in Louisiana. There's probably going to be a lot of people in the stands. Give William like a chance to kind of shake back from Saturday. He got rocked, but I mean, I don't really know, to be honest. Like, Saturday just didn't go the way that like it should have went. And
so you're having a crisis of confidence right now in your
kind
analysis?
Of am. No, not even my analysis. Just like
with the
I
team.
don't know, yeah. And I hate to say it, but. And it's not even like for me, like, I don't think that the sky is falling or anything like that, but, like, I just don't know what you do with the rotation.
But let's just look starting to droop a little bit.
Let's just look at, like, but what are, like, take a step back. Let's remove the emotion. And what are the actual question marks still? I would say I don't have any questions about the offense.
Yeah.
I know how it ended last weekend was very disappointing. That's baseball. You have these bad runs. Also, I trust Jay Johnson getting good 1-9 offensive production all the time. And again, it is an absolute battle to work through LSU's lineup right now. So I have no offensive problems.
No.
Defensively, I think they've been really solid. I mean, you know what was lost from Saturday was Milam just making play after play, doing everything he freaking could.
Yeah.
He was great
in that
Sunday
game.
as well.
He was
defense.
unbelievable
Defensively. Yeah, Milam is... Again, good at baseball.
Yeah, I mean,
and
the exchange, right?
Yeah,
getting ball to hand, whether he's just picking it up straight off the ground. He had the one that kind of caromed up in the air, and then he just snagged it and threw it like. It's so quick and so accurate. It boggles the mind. So
that's what we talked about though. Like whenever we were like, is he going to be able to make the switch? And Jay's like, he has that instinct.
Yeah,
like he just has the instinct. He's just so good.
Well, and I mean, Bill Frank has hit that clip that we played on Friday where he said it's going to be the best interior double play combination I've ever seen LSU. Well, now you see more reasons why.
Even
I
Bear making those stretches at first though, like he's huge.
Yeah,
and like for him to make those, like he was like belly flopping over there. And
That's actually a good point because like think about how like concerned people were when Trey Morgan left because of how good he was at first base. You know,
yeah,
like,
he also had the diving stop.
Bear Jones
over the weekend. Yeah,
like he was pretty good last year, but he's taken such a step forward defensively. It's like Tommy White at third base from year 1 to year 2.
So.
Yeah.
And then what about catcher? I don't have a great take on catcher. How do we feel about catcher defensively?
Point, right?
What's that? No, it's Hernandez, but I'm saying how do we feel about him defensively? I don't feel like LSU's got run on a ton.
No, I mean I'm confident in Hernandez behind the plate and at the plate. So
yeah, definitely at the plate too. So we feel good about the bats, feel good about the offense. I think you feel good about 2 of your starters.
Yes.
And Anderson and Ianson. You need more from whoever's going to be on Sunday if it continues to be Chase Shores. And then who's the bullpen arms that you feel good about?
I mean, obviously Zach Cowan.
Yeah.
Case and Evans.
Yep.
I mean,
lefty DJ Primo's been pretty good.
DJ Primo has been pretty solid, and I might be a little like I actually like Connor Benj. Like I think that he's given you a couple of good outings. It might have not been what you wanted it to be on Saturday, but, I mean, nothing went the way you wanted it to go Saturday.
But, like, the guys with a bullet that you're not concerned about, Cowan, Evans.
Yeah.
Are you throwing Primo in the
if
with
you need
a bullet
lefty,
category?
I mean, he's kind of been your best lefty.
So, again, I guess this is all an exercise in saying emotionally it feels very bad after how that turned and that 7th inning on last weekend. But objectively, it's still a lot of good with very clear and obvious areas in which to improve.
And one of the things you do right now is like Zach Cohen, like Cowan, say like he went into the starting rotation because he's done that before at Watford.
Yeah.
Well, you lose his arm in the bullpen, so you don't have that luxury right now. Like that's the problem.
But then is Shores better out the pen now? I mean, I don't know.
Maybe.
He was great as a freshman. It's been a long time since then. And I mean, maybe Shores can still figure it out as a starter.
Yeah. I don't think
do you think he would play around with that on Sunday?
This is another question that they asked Jay last night in the show, and he was like, I mean, there's no question that Cowan can be a starter. That's what he was.
Faced him. He's been in that regional,
Yeah. I think that you leave Shores there Sunday and let him kind of get his pitch count, get some innings under his belt, and try to get back to where he was before.
Man, how many years has it been since you felt like you had a Sunday guy that made the difference in all these series? I remember Mikhail Hilliard had that year where he probably won you.
Yeah, he wound up. That was his freshman year.
He had like
6
a
series. It felt like Eric
slider.
Walker. Remember,
Walker was great. So that
Walker,
was the
Texas Ranger. He was
yeah,
awesome.
Walker was awesome.
Because that was the year he got hurt right before the World Series, and he had to go Caleb Gilbert. Then he kind of had to piece it together in the Natty.
Yeah,
Eric Walker
was awesome
was excellent
in that Sunday role. Was Poche Sunday?
No,
for a lot of
Poche
his
was
career, or
Saturday.
was he always
so
Saturday?
it was when Poche first got there. It was Poche Saturday, and then you had Kyle Bowman, who was actually a pretty good Sunday guy. That was the order there, with Lang as well.
So still kind of trying to find that great Sunday guy, but maybe it's yours, maybe it's Cowan. We'll see.
One of the most insane breaking balls that I've ever seen.
Who?
Mikhail Hilliard.
Yeah. It was nasty.
Like, talk about bend the knee. He had people like
nasty. All right,
swinging out their shoes.
Beat the Raging Cajuns tonight and teach Raging Review a lesson, Tigers. Take care of business and gain some momentum going into this weekend. Wrap it up hour 1. We get back.
Off the bench.
Hey, guys, get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney's there for you when you need them. You need someone who's going to fight for you. Stand up to the big insurance companies, okay? And because that's what this is all about, right? You get in an accident that sucks. You are due compensation, or perhaps you are. The problem is sometimes justice cannot be served because these big companies just lean on you and they have more resources from which to pull. That's where Gordon McKernan comes in as he fights for you to get it for you. Get Gordon, get it done.
Yep. When you go to getgordon.com, you can do it all on the website. You can see what they can do for you in the courtroom, what they've already done in the courtroom, cases they can handle. You can chat with them right there on the homepage of the website. All that is right there at your fingertips, getgordon.com. At GetGordon is the handle, though. All major social media, see what they're doing throughout the community in the state of Louisiana. And pick up the phone, your area code, followed by 888-8888.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over. So many things that I wanna say. You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just wanna use your love tonight.
Welcome to the 7th ranked morning sports show in America. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Tonight! What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Midweek baseball tonight. Tournament cranking back up. When? Tomorrow? Thursday? When does the Sweet 16 game start? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I believe
tomorrow.
it.
Yeah.
Wait, what's today?
Today's
Tuesday.
They'll start on Thursday.
Okay.
So Thursday. There you
It's
go.
always Thursday.
Taylor, we were just discussing you were, doing the mock draft thing there during the break. And you're saying if Shedeur gets past the Giants, when do you think that he'll go?
Because, the Giants are at 3. Then you got Patriots, Jags, Raiders. They're not taking a QB. Because, everybody thought it was going to be 6. They traded for Geno. They're not taking Shedeur. I would think they would take Genty. That's kind of who's been mocked to him now.
Yep.
The Jets are at 7. They need a QB. But if they don't take him, he could fall, far. Because the Panthers, no, we don't think the Saints are going to. Then you have Bears, 49ers, Cowboys, 10, 11, 12. Dolphins at 13, Colts at 14.
But that's kind of,
where does he?
The Colts, I don't know, though. I feel like there's some quarterback teams in there, like the Saints don't.
Do you trust the Saints to take a QB first round?
No,
I don't.
No, I suppose not.
Do they need one? Yeah. Are they going to take him? Probably not.
No man considers a course base for himself that has proven profitable to others. Nobody thought the Falcons were going to take Penix last year. That seems to have worked out.
It's just weird to think about because this is a guy that could go 2 or he could go 16th.
If he's there on the board when the Saints are there, I don't know, Jake. What do you think? You got to think real hard about it. It's almost.
It really just depends on how you view him.
Yeah.
If you're like, we love him, there ain't no way he's going to get to us, and he does, you do it.
Yeah.
If you're not in love with him, you don't take the risk of a player that you're not in love with at a position that it's not settled, but you've settled it in your mind with Derek Carr. So it's really all about how you feel about the player. That's like the Falcons last year. I don't think they went into the draft saying we're going to take a quarterback.
Yeah.
They loved Michael Penix Jr. He fell to them at 8. They turned the card in.
Hour 2 coming up next of Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, Know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
The fuck? Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, March 25th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 81 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll have OTB mailbag at 8:15. Then at 8:30, LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey hops on the show. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hello, and welcome back. Hour number 2 of OTB. Taylor just laid out the hour. Going to be a good one for you guys. Really cannot wait to talk to Coach Mulkey. As like Jake said, I'm assuming her team getting ready to head out maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Got to go up there all the way to Spokane.
Where Gonzaga is at?
Look, you don't got no accent. Otherwise, you would have said Spokane. Because that's where my head
And I would have said Gonzaga instead of Gonzaga.
Wait, which one's the accent on Gonzaga?
Don't let Kelvin Sampson hear you say that.
You shouldn't. No, I am okay with him saying the way he said it.
Wait, what did Kelvin?
He's
what
like,
did I miss?
the reporter's like, talking about blah, 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 Gonzaga. He goes, it's Gonzaga.
What does Gonzaga say?
Gonzaga. They're the Zags.
Okay, they say Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's they're the Bulldogs, but they always go by the Zags, not the Zogs.
You got to zag when they zig. I've always said that. Shout out Mark Few. Again, I wonder, can Gonzaga continue to be good in this new era? You know what I was saying?
Won a tournament game and then had a number 1 seed last possession.
So that's what I was going to say. I think
not as good maybe, but
you're still going to have smaller schools that's all they do, all the resources thrown in. I do think the kind of middle to lower class Cinderellas are probably out.
Yeah.
Right. Like Gonzaga seems like a rich school to me. I don't know much about it.
It's a small Catholic school.
Okay.
6,000 students.
Just hit up the Pope. I mean, come on,
Hit up
dude.
John Stockton.
Pass around the collection bucket and let's get some dogs.
Yeah.
You know, literally.
Kelly Olynyk. Hit him up.
Yeah. What's Adam Morrison doing now?
Podcast.
Really?
Yeah. He works still he was doing radio for the basketball team. I don't know
Does
if
he still have a
does
mustache?
that. I don't think so.
What? That's crazy. If Adam Morrison's in media, you can't get rid of the one thing that defines you.
Yeah, short hair too, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, give me a picture of Adam Morrison. I can't handle this.
The Perimeter Podcast maybe is the name of it.
$56,000 a year, by the way, to go to Gonzaga.
God, that's like USD.
So it's again, a rich private school, but not a ton of, like you said, not a ton of enrollees, but
7,306.
you have to imagine rich alumni, very rich
gotta
alumni
be.
who only care about
Bing
basketball.
Crosby,
What?
Yeah.
No
alumni
way.
of Gonzaga.
Oh, shout out Bing. Remember over Christmas, I fell into a wonderful YouTube hole of watching the Bing Crosby family specials from TV back in the day. What an amazing guy Bing was. Oh, my God, he looks great, actually.
Yeah,
I take
there you
back
go.
everything I said. Adam Morrison looks hot. I mean, the short hair and the no mustache. Like, what? Never mind. He was that good looking underneath it the
I know.
entire time.
It makes you wonder what he was doing.
Look how angular his chin is. Adam, and he's probably like, what, like 6'7"?
Yeah.
6'8"?
Yeah.
Damn.
A lot of chief justices from Gonzaga.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so they got, really? Just like a lot of judges?
Yeah.
Damn.
You know what would benefit them?
What?
Is it if they went to the Big 12 or something?
Yeah, to get the revenue payout. I mean,
Yeah.
again, that's what I keep talking about.
And they're good in baseball too, so they would fit into the Big 12 model in baseball. They just wouldn't have a football team.
That's what I keep talking about, though, is the 2026 college football playoff contract is going to make all of this worse because the Big Ten and the SEC are going to be earmarked to basically get double of that in the Big 12 and the ACC. And that's on top of the other TV deals, just the base TV deals. Like, I don't know how these schools are supposed to keep pace when I mean, I think, I think this is napkin math, maybe a little inaccurate, but I feel like it's going to come out to be like $30 million more a year per school, potentially when it's all said and done. That's crazy. That's crazy. How are you supposed to keep up with that? I don't know. We'll see. I think one way you could keep up with it is with a solid morning routine, right? And really, start your day off right. Maybe an ice bath of the face, maybe some meditation, some push-ups, some swimming, some sprinting.
Some push-up adjacent looking
Sprinting
things.
next to a
Well, he was
car
doing the prison
that's
push-ups.
driving.
Sure.
Keeping time under tension, Jake.
Yeah.
Time under tension. He was doing little tiny vibrating push-ups, wasn't he? Little Hitachi push-ups. Ashton Hall, though, is an influencer who, if you were on the internet at all this weekend, you either saw his video or you saw people making fun of his video. It's a video of opulence and abs. And God, he's got an incredible body.
It happened so fast, too.
I know. And he's been around forever.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
saw
like
that video
it's new.
weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's how the internet works. Sometimes things just get hot. And Ashton Hall got hot this weekend. And then everybody started copying and or making fun of him. I was still unsure. I thought it was maybe satirical.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's some stuff so ridiculous as to be satirical. The way that people are always handing him stuff from off camera. But apparently it's not.
The breakfast. And he gets handed the breakfast, and he's like at his laptop like he's doing something real serious.
10,000. How about we make it 10,000? Okay. That's the other thing about influencers. They're always just working on a laptop with not a pen or paper or headphones or a microphone or anything in sight. It's always just a laptop. Kind of looking sideways at that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, at one point he shot a jump shot and then somebody hands him a delicious piece of fresh sliced watermelon, which again would be freaking incredible. Like, there is not a better food when you're in the middle of athletics than watermelon. Shout out Coach Nader having that. I guess actually we kind of live that, Jake.
Yeah.
We used to step off the field at some of those camp
Sam
practices.
Hey, fellas, got some watermelon over here under the tent.
I want to know if there's any true benefit to rubbing a banana peel on your face.
Chaps linked a horrifying video in which it seems like he's getting his eye operated on. He said he got pink eye from a banana peel or something. I don't know.
Oh, dear God.
I actually turned off the video, so I didn't do the full research into what was going on. I don't know. Somebody was telling me the other day, Aaron Murray, I think, was telling me about some new face lotion that is beef tallow based.
Yeah.
So you know about this, or was that at our Wednesday dinner? Maybe
I don't know, but I do.
Katie has some, so maybe it was Katie.
So
I don't know.
we're just out here rubbing beef tallow on our face now.
Like all over your
You
body.
remember what it was in Nip Tuck?
Nip Tuck. Yes, I do.
Wait, so just beef tallow all over the body?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Just bathe me in beef? You're telling me this entire time I could have been bathing in beef tallow and I haven't been?
I was about to say, this sounds right up T-Bob's alley.
No, beef tallow is definitely not banned. It's actually great to coat the cast iron with. It's excellent.
Yeah. But didn't they used to make McDonald's fries?
I can't remember.
Yeah, they
Galen
used to,
Iverstein.
they used to soak them in there before they fried them.
Yes, they used to soak them in there. It's a very, I've talked about it multiple times on the show. We've never had the actual McDonald's fries because in the 90s they changed it to vegetable oil because there were health concerns. Little do we know that vegetable oil just comes with its own problems.
Yeah.
So it's not really better. It's just different.
It's probably still cheaper though, which is why they stuck around with it.
Maybe so, yeah. I mean,
beef tallow sounds like it'd be more expensive than vegetable oil.
Probably, I don't know, but yeah, probably that makes sense. Anyway, Ashton Hall had this to say to everybody copying him.
I'm here to address the nonsense. So many videos are being sent to me, duplicates of my videos. This is for the creators that are sick and tired of their work being copied. Listen to me well. You're either going to be a leader or a follower, and it's okay to be either one, but you have to choose. If you're going to be a leader, people are going to follow you. What is the issue? I realize that God has me here to lead, not to follow anyone, so that's what I'm gonna do. When I see somebody following the way, I should be hyped. Now, I'm not perfect by any means. I used to get pissed off. The running videos, the ASMR workouts, I'm not gonna act like I'm a saint. I used to block anybody who was doing anything similar to me. That was me. I'm blocking them. Screw them. How could they copy my work? I worked so hard for this. What's wrong with this dude? Why do the same thing as me? What is up? Then I realized, bro, like, people follow Jesus. Why? Because he was great. As a Christian man, why are you angry if they're following you? Matter of fact, if you're doing something good with good intentions, this should be a great thing. So coming from someone who's been in your shoes, just know, if people are doing what you're doing after they see what you're doing is working for you, you're doing something right. Don't allow this to get you upset. This is the name of the game.
Oh, never mind. He had a mic.
He did have a mic.
I was wrong. I apologize.
I love comparing
himself
to
Jesus.
Look, I mean, he's not wrong. Jesus had plenty of followers. Still does. Maybe has the most followers of just about anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And Ashton's just on that same path. I love, like, people are highlighting the hubris of the Jesus line. The real hubris to me
is thinking people are copying him.
Yes, is
Not making
claiming
fun.
ASM. No, is claiming. Well, yes, that too. Actually, yes, but claiming ASMR videos as his own creation.
Like, those have been around.
Like, you're the
for
only
so
dude
long.
that's ever done ASMR workout videos, or just say, or like sprinting videos. I've seen David Goggins yelling at me about being a fat POS for years while running. Like, what are we
seriously.
talking about here, dude? There's ASMR videos all over the internet. Shout out to Ashton, though. He's jacked. Wasn't very good at football, though, Jake.
8 yards.
No, 1.8 yards per carry.
Damn.
Not even 2. Couldn't even get to 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
If you watch the sprinting videos, too, he's got a little big fave in him when he runs. Shout out, though.
Shout out, Big
1
Fave.
billion impressions for Ashton over the weekend.
Woo, a Billy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That does numbers there, Bo. In your wallet.
Yeah, yes.
But it's like everything, though. Like, it's going to come and go. Like, next week, no one's going to care about Ashton Hall.
Yeah, yeah. He needs to just, he needs to do a meme coin right now. Strike while the iron's hot. Do a meme coin, rug pull everybody, get a payday, and keep it moving.
I keep seeing
It's
this.
the way of the internet.
This conspiracy theory online that I have not explored quite yet. That Hawk Tua killed herself.
Oh my God.
'Cause
That's a
of the
little
meme
dark to
coin.
bring up in such a casual way. Yes, no, I know she did the meme coin
And
thing.
then she disappeared.
I've seen her on the beach and stuff, though.
Oh,
I've
okay.
seen.
She's just out of like social media and stuff.
Well, I mean, rightfully so, because she, even though nobody ever gets in legal trouble for that stuff, she maybe potentially could.
Yeah.
I mean, with her, that was a situation where I think, and this, I don't want to, this is definitely not the free pass for everybody, but I do think there are some situations where somebody comes to these people with a pitch and they're like, let's do this. And they're like, okay, sure, whatever. And they don't fully understand what's going on. And then like, oh my God, I just took millions of dollars from all my fans. This is actually,
I honestly feel
but
like
then,
she
she
had
didn't
no
like,
idea.
I mean, she hasn't though, like, she hasn't tried to like give the money back. She hasn't tried to like, she hadn't really tried to atone. So
I really do
that's on
think
her.
that she had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I
seems
don't
so
think
slow.
her scam was like, oh, I cannot wait to meme coin. She had a great podcast. Things are going great for her. She had actually parlayed the 15 minutes into way more than she
really
ever
did.
should have been able to.
I was about to say, that celebrity status you knew always had some sort of short shelf life. Like you knew it was coming
but
at
that's
some
what I'm
point.
saying. She was making it. She was going on Bill Maher, dominating him. She had her podcast, which wasn't like top 5 in the world.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The Talk To It thing became a meme, and then she just I think, I kind of agree with Nookie. She was doing all the work to support like dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she was actually pretty sweet, but just guys, don't get into crypto.
No.
Until we come out with
OTB
either
coin.
OTB coin, and the only difference is we're telling you it's a rug pull.
Yeah.
Okay. So be one of the first ones in
At your own risk.
so that we can all pull the rug and make money together on everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay. You can only be mad at yourself for buying Hawk to a coin. I mean, yes,
absolutely.
If you sit there and
I
you're
agree
like,
with
Hawk to a coin is what is going to make me money, there's
the
a
only
bigger
thing
issue.
that I hate about that logic is I do think that it allows people to justify a lot of scammy and scummy.
It's like, that's kind of on you.
And bad actions. But
Victim
I think
blaming.
I think it's coexisting truths.
Yeah.
I think it is really dumb to do that, but I also think it's really scammy and scummy and wrong to do the rug pull thing.
Yes.
Also, shout out to Hank Martin in the chat, T-Bob. He gave you a great idea.
What?
Add beef tallow to your meat vending machine.
I mean, actually, yes. Actually, yes. I didn't know beef tallow on Sunday. I had a big meat Sunday, though. I had boudin, sausage, burgers, and hot dogs. It was great. Just ate meat all day long.
Love that.
Look, Scott says he'll buy 1,000 OTB coin. Perfect. Perfect.
We already have somebody in.
Perfect.
Ground floor.
Tell all your friends about it. All right.
So how do we get it started, though?
You're asking too many questions.
There's a couple, there's people we could ask around town.
Yeah, somebody that's good with the blockchain, come hit us up. Because I've got the language down. Look, this is a really exciting project, okay? And trust me when I say we are in it for the long haul. Okay, Web 3.0 is the future. And you don't want to be left behind. We talked about it yesterday with AI, right? You can either hop on board or you're going to end up like China in the 20th century. You're going to end up like the Luddites back in the day. What's this printing press? No, you need to hop on board with OTB coin. It's a project that has great potential. And again, we are not going anywhere. We are in it for the long haul. Trust me when I say this. I mean, it's kind of crazy because we do live in a world where, like, president just did that right before the election. But whatever, doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and when we get back, let's do some OTB mailbag before we talk to Coach Kim Mulkey.
Off the bench.
Go to Pelican Roofing, pelicanroof.com, pelicanroof.com. Your roofing experts are Lafayette, Baton Rouge, all of South Louisiana. Over 500 five-star reviews, guys. Listen to my girl, Susan Hebert. Which comes from Facebook.
Relative?
Thanks so much. Hey, most popular South name in Louisiana, don't forget it. Thanks so much to Josh Tebow for all his patience and help throughout the process of re-shingling our roof. He was so helpful to us. His suggestions and guidance was deeply appreciated. Grant with Pelican Roofing was on our job until the very end. Thank you to Grant for overseeing the entire job. We appreciate both you and Josh. We have recommended Josh Pelican Roofing to our friends and relatives, and they are pleased with him in the work that was done. So again, that's what we talk about, right? Dedicated employees every single step along to make sure your project is done with the utmost quality. Pelican Roofing.
Yeah, you can see those reviews right there on the homepage of the brand new website over at pelicanroof.com. Pick up the phone, give them a call as well. Find both contact informations right there on top of the webpage, pelicanroof.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. It's time for a little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Hashtag OTB mailbag. If you had your own Hawk Tua viral moment, would you bring your best friend along like Haley did?
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, my best friend's my wife, so absolutely I would. What, Taylor? Oh, you weren't talking about Victoria, were you?
Sorry, Victoria. I was not.
Sorry, Victoria. Couldn't be me.
Well, I don't need to bring her along because we're married. What's mine is hers, so she wouldn't be my business partner.
Whatever, dude. You're going to get famous, and then you're going to leave her. That's terrible.
That's
absolutely
crazy.
Terrible.
And Victoria's so sweet.
She's like literally the sweetest. Hope you're happy. What a catch you have. You've outkicked your coverage, and here you are talking about leaving her on a morning show.
Never said that.
Unbelievable. Hashtag OTB
we
mailbag.
got your back, Victoria.
Yeah, we got your back. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Should Elon rescue the Antarctic scientists. I don't know what are we talking about?
Oh, this is a rabbit hole I went down yesterday. Not fully, so I'm not going to give you all. I can't give all the details because I don't have all of them. But there's some South African scientists stuck in Antarctica, and one of them's like going insane and like saying he's going to kill everybody.
The good news is there's not that many people at Antarctica, so you might actually have to leave them there.
So we know he's saying it, and we're all just kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
I can't. Sorry.
I mean, Antarctica's pretty remote.
I know. I'm saying, like, does he have other people with him though?
There's like 9 of them or something like that are in there.
So they kind of need to take care of this then. You outnumber that guy.
I mean, I think I would take care of business on my own.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. If Murph, Sam, and Jody were to poach Taylor, do you think that would finally be enough to push you over the hump and win a lobby? No, I'm going to be nice to Taylor here. This show would be worse, much worse, without Tay-Tay.
Also, like,
it's the only nice thing I'm saying. Shut up.
I made the video to submit it, so.
So it is your fault.
So it's your fault.
Yeah, so it is your fault. Way to go.
No, I'm saying, well, first off, our video was much better, but also, like.
What'd you put in the video?
Everything. I'll show you. I still have it.
I'd love to see it.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Alondra's covered in Mormon vampires, Hollywood gossip. What will her next segment be on?
I guess.
Yeah, we need another Friday.
Scientists in Antarctica.
Okay, there you go. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What are your favorite parenting hacks? I don't know how to explain it, but when dealing with a car seat, and you can look these videos up very easily online, when you need to flip the buckle, Jake, to like the other orientation.
Yeah.
All you have to do is fold the strap.
Yeah.
And it slips right through and then unfolds and it's flipped. Again, I can't explain it verbally, but it is legitimately like life-changing. It makes it so much easier.
Any parent hacks? I got to think about that. I feel like I would have a good one. I don't want to just throw anything out there.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. How many yards could Hester get against the Eagles D-line with T-Bob at center?
Just us two out there? I don't think very many.
No. We get the rest of the Eagles O-line as well.
Oh, we're good.
We're getting 3?
Yeah.
Oh, let's
for sure.
go. I don't want to block that Eagles D-line. Oh, my God. That seems terrifying. Hashtag if you...
Jake, looks like you're doing tall sweep. T-Bub's not going to do much blocking. Looks like you're going on the edge. But.
I mean, no, I'll pull. Let me pull. Let me pull and go get on, like...
That'd be better, yeah.
I'll go... Oh, you can't cut anymore, though,
That's
can
true.
you?
No, not outside the box.
Look, just try to beat the linebacker to the edge. Get you 3 yards out of bounds. You're good.
Hashtag go to be mailbag. If you placed the Harry Potter sorting hat on your crotch, what would it say?
What? That's a crazy question.
Gargantuar. No. Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff. That's what it would say. It's a solid, reliable.
Oh, man. Slytherin is like the obvious answer.
Gryffindor.
Because it's like a pun. Slytherin.
Oh, Slytherin. Yeah. True. Slytheriner. Hashtag OTB mailbag.
I don't know anything about Harry Potter.
You'd have a Gryffindor for sure. Hashtag OTB mailbag. You have a bowl with 1,000 grapes. And each one you eat, you get $50,000. But one is poisonous and you'll die in a week. How many are you eating?
I'm eating at least 2.
Oof.
10. 10 out of 1,000?
Yeah,
Why not?
10 out of
I mean, the odds are pretty good. I feel like.
10.
Right now, yeah. I mean, 50,000 per grape for 10 of them. I mean, guys.
Is there an antidote?
No, you're dead.
No.
If you eat the
Like, if you eat the poisonous one, you're dead. But, like, 10 out of 1,000, like, that's pretty good odds.
It's great odds. But it is that back of the mind.
Yeah, like Russian roulette.
Ugh.
Oh, you know what we can't talk about is, like, apparently Russia has, like, a thing where you can get on a boat and kill Somali pirate or hunt Somali pirates.
Okay, also, how are all of y'all against that? Like, I am signing up for that so fast. I am making reservations
I mean,
to go do
I
that.
was just going
that
to point
sounds
out
so fun.
how absurd it is that Alondra was acting like, what, you wouldn't want to do that?
No,
with me?
I
Like,
was just
what?
asking.
No, that's
Yes.
insane. Yeah,
Yes.
so if you don't know what we're talking about, apparently you can go out with some Russians and sail through where the pirates tend to feast.
Yeah.
and you have like guns and an RPG and stuff and like a mounted like
I feel like I'd go
I don't know if it's a
old
50
school
caliber,
and do
like a
like bow and
mounted-
Dude,
arrow.
it's like a
machine gun.
super aggressive paintball war. This is what, yeah.
It just seems so.
Taylor has like no problem killing
I
somebody.
was
it
gonna say
feels
I
like.
have no desire to shoot anybody.
He's like, I'm
Don't
doing it.
just fire
Much
the
less be
RPG
shot
in the
off.
general direction. You don't actually have to make contact.
I agree. Taylor's a psychopath.
Yeah, that's
Jesus.
psychotic
Yeah,
behavior.
I agree.
I just
dude.
asked the question. I didn't
So
say
wait,
one way
but
or
is
the
this
other
the thing?
if I do
Like,
it.
was this the thing you had to pay to do, or you got paid to do it?
No, you pay to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to pay to do it. Like,
Adventure tourism.
If I got paid, yeah, why not?
Yeah, just hunt wild hogs from helicopters, Tay. That should satiate your bloodlust.
That seems kind of fun too. Not gonna lie.
It is extreme, but I mean, it does seem kind of fun. All right. Talk to Coach Kim Mulkey next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8582, centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org. You want a bathroom remodel, you need anything, any help, 24/7 emergency service. Okay, anything goes wrong with your plumbing, you call Central Plumbing. Remember, licensed, bond insured employees, 24/7 emergency support, meaning they're there for you when you need them. Flat rate pricing, excellent warranty once the work is done. But it doesn't have to be repairs. Maybe you want a bathroom remodel. It's a good gift idea. Maybe you want like a tankless water heater. Any upgrades? Go to Central Plumbing today.
Go to the website, check out what they can do for you. It's not only in emergencies. Now, we know they can handle any emergency 24/7, 365, weekends, holidays, game day, does not matter. 225-925-8552. But if you're looking to remodel, if you're looking to go tankless today with a tankless water heater, never run out of hot water again, go to the website today. Check it all out, centralplumbing.org.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website, LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net, powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Back from the break, where the sports talk gets real. Kinda. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. It is Tuesday at 8:30, and we are the luckiest show in the country at this time every week because we are joined by the legend, Coach Kim Mulkey. Today, joining us fresh off a hyper-impressive 30-point win, 101-71, a 31-6 third quarter that sees your LSU Tigers once again heading to the Sweet 16. Coach Mulkey, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. I know it's crazy right now. How we feeling?
We feel great. I'm out walking the neighborhood. I'm listening to the birds sing. I'm looking at the beautiful sky. I'm pumping myself up for a 4-hour flight to Spokane, Washington today.
Okay, so we were going to ask about that, but before we look forward, I want to reflect on a little bit because it is, and after the game, you talked about how, look, the goal at LSU is not to just make Sweet 16s. Like, that's good. We're thankful for it, but that is not the goal here. And yet, I can't help but be struck with how quickly you've made reaching the Sweet 16 commonplace. Like, it just feels like, okay, yes, of course, LSU will host, and then they'll be in the Sweet 16, and they'll have a chance to win a national championship. Like, it's, I mean, do you reflect on it and kind of think back at, like, man, look at how quickly we've accomplished this?
I don't know if reflect is the word. I think I make sure that everybody in this community understands, don't take this for granted. This is not as easy as you think it is to get to a Sweet 16. 5 players in my locker room have never been to a Sweet 16.
Wow.
And you enjoy it. You make sure that we make a big deal of it. But then you turn the page and you say, we no longer have just the goal of getting to the NCAA playoff. We no longer have the goal to just make it to a Sweet 16. We've tasted what it, tastes like to win championships and to get to a Final Four. And let's just keep that perspective as well. So I made sure I made those points in the locker room and made those points at the press conference. Thought the crowd was great and loud once again. It was a hard start for a lot of people because they had to come from work. And by the time they got off work and got there, it was a full house and it was loud as usual.
Yeah, and I know that Florida State kind of saying they were not going to be intimidated by the PMAC, but, well, I mean, I think the PMAC spoke for itself. But, Coach, I want to ask you about the rhythm of the game last night, where your best players have foul trouble early on. You have to turn to some of your bench for nearly the entirety of the first half, and they do an excellent job of giving you a 1-point lead going into halftime, which then snowballs into fresh legs in the second half. Combined with some defensive adjustments, lead to an unbelievable 31-6 quarter. But what does it like? What can you carry forward from watching your team show some of that adaptability in last night's contest?
I go back to my comments. In order for you to go deep into the playoffs and to win championships, you better have everybody on the same page at the same time. And we did these last 2 games. Our bench they've just been so significant the last 2 games. If you look at the stat sheet, Flage and Michaela only played 20 minutes or so, and that's because of the foul trouble. And I was very pleased going into half that we were up 1, and they didn't just blow us out with all their starters playing in that first half. And so that third quarter, it was almost like Michaela and Shy and Flage, heck yeah, they were fresh. They were ready to go, and we just did a few adjustments defensively, and I thought those were great adjustments. And then everybody scored the ball. Everybody shared the ball. We broke a record. You had like 29 assists in an NCAA playoff game. You had 2 post players that almost had triple doubles, and there's so many records that were broken last night on the floor. And there's an old saying, it's amazing what can be accomplished when no one cares who receives the credit. And when you have that mindset, you're going to have games like that.
Coach, it looked like they took this as a challenge. You're facing the nation's leading scorer, you're watching Selection Sunday and everybody's saying, hey, Florida State, really good basketball team. Look at their draw. I don't hate where they're at. Really pumping Florida State up because they're a good basketball team and they got a great player. But it does seem like your team took that as a challenge and wanted to go out there and show exactly what they did last night.
Well, she certainly is a scoring machine. She had us on our heels in that first half. She herself is the reason we were in foul trouble. She would penetrate and we'd reach, and so she gets my respect. Now in the second half, we came out and we guarded her differently. Went under screens and said if she's going to keep scoring it, she's going to have to shoot the three ball. And I want to say she may have been like 2 for 10 or something like that from the three. But I said in the first half that it wasn't our offense. Hell, we scored 50 points at half. It wasn't our offense. Our defense had to just get so much better in order to win the ball game, and we did. And part of defense, guys, is don't give them that second shot. Man, in the first half, that their wings were flying in there above the dang backboard trying to get rebounds, and I thought, oh man, that's some athleticism right there. And we just didn't allow them to get second and third shots in the second half. We went under screens, and then offensively, we pushed the ball better. We shared the ball better. We made the extra pass. And it was a very fun second half to watch.
Yeah, I mean, again, 31-6. Never seen anything like that before. And by the end of the game, the defense holding Florida State to just 35% from the field. Again, they have 12 assists, while y'all shoot 56% from the field with 29 assists. So you can just very clearly see the defensive impact there. I want to ask real quick, and then we'll move on to looking forward, but I want to ask real quick about the adjustment made on Latson, where instead of trying to fight through the screen, just go underneath them, give her a little room to shoot. Who makes that adjustment? Is that Simone? Is that Bob? Is that you? Is that just pulling from years and years of coaching? How did that change? A small change that ended up making a big difference.
Well, Bob Starkey, Kaylin Rice, those guys watch hours and hours of film, and they come to me with a game plan. They come to me before, practices, preparing for the game. Here's who we think needs to guard them. Here's how we think we need to guard. Here's what we need to do. And then I ultimately make the final decision. Then at halftime, we couldn't stop dribble penetration from Latson. And so we go into the coach's locker room and we talk about, do we need to switch players on her? Do we need to trap her? What do we need to do to get the ball out of her hands? And we just made it simple. We said, go under the screen and make her shoot the three ball. Get on her right hand. Don't let her have any right hand drive.
Just like that.
And it worked.
That's crazy.
It worked. So you talk about things, and then you go into the locker room and you tell them things that we're doing good, things we're doing bad, and this is what we're going to do defensively and change the script a little bit. But you already have worked on that in practice the 3 or 4 days you were preparing for them. If this doesn't work, all right, now you're going to go guard her. If this doesn't work, you're not throwing things at them that we have not already gone over in the previous practices.
So, Coach, as we move forward to your next opponent, it's a team that you've already faced this year. Now, that was on November the 27th, and you were victorious, and it was a great game for the squad, 82-65. When you're preparing for NC State this time around, how much do you go back and watch that game? Is it like that the main focus, or do you go back and watch maybe what they've currently done? Because, probably not the same team now that they were in November.
Nor are we the same team.
Yeah.
But
right.
What I do is I go back and look at the scouting report on when we played them earlier. What did we do that was so successful in that game? Then you go watch tough games and good opponents that they beat. And then you go, okay, what have they changed? Is anything any different? And go from there. I can tell you NC State is guard dominant. They'll play 4 guards. Their post game, when we played them, and probably, you're not going to all of a sudden invent 6'5" post players. They don't have the post game that they had last year when they were in the Final Four. and I feel very confident that we do. I feel very confident that our post game is playing its best basketball. But those 4 guards, you better be able to move your feet. And you better be able to defend because there's some kind of athletic and great basketball players.
Coach, from a kind of trait standpoint, it's obvious that you know what it takes to get here to the Sweet 16, right? What are the traits that you see in teams that help you get from this point to the Final Four? Do you see them in this team?
You better focus. You better have unbelievable focus in that film room. You better be able to tell me everything on that scouting report. You can't just fly and float away. You have to know everything because you're going to see it all in the playoffs. When you get down to 16 teams, everybody can coach. Those players can play. And it's usually the little thing that wins a ball game for you, whether it is a great defensive play, whether it is a big-time shot. That's usually separation there.
Hey, Coach, I did want to ask you about the travel because we talked about it earlier with you, and this is kind of where you thought you would end up. And you mentioned 4-hour plane ride, Pacific Northwest. So pretty quick turnaround. So you're going to leave today, but what's the schedule kind of look like for you and your team, travel, getting there, practicing, getting ready for the game?
Well, I'm not real thrilled that we have to play Friday. That's one less day of preparation. We played, Saturday, Monday this past weekend, and I would like to have seen it stay Saturday, Monday, but that's not the way it is. Both games will be Friday. We'll play at 4:30 their time, which is 6:30 our time here. It is a long plane ride. They tell me altitude is somewhat of a problem. So I'm glad we're leaving today. I would have preferred to leave this morning, but the NCAA takes over everything, and they tell us we can't leave until 3.
What?
There are 4 hotels assigned, 8 teams are there, and there'll be 2 teams per hotel. My understanding is Oklahoma will be in the hotel with us. We will get there and do film tonight, and then tomorrow we'll have to have an off-practice site. You're not allowed to be in the arena until the day before game, and with 8 teams, we're only allowed 1 hour on that court the day before, and probably no more than 30 to 45 minutes the day of.
That's crazy. I didn't know any of that. So the NCAA just completely takes over.
The NCAA takes over the PMAC. When you host, you get out of the way. They tell you what the cost of tickets are going to be. They move season ticket holders, because you got 4 teams that have to have fans in certain spots in the arena, so they completely take over everything.
Coach, last one from me here, and it has to do with the mentality of your team. When you're at this stage and both failure and success, right, everything that you've worked for kind of are lurking around the corner, and you have multiple days to digest this, how do you make sure that mentally your team is ready for that moment, ready for the moment when the game starts and, you get punched in the mouth, right? When something doesn't go right. How do you make sure? Because obviously last night, look at what they did. They responded incredibly well. How do you get them ready to take those punches and overcome them?
Well, you make sure you don't overcoach and you don't stay on the floor too long. You make sure in the film room you get to the point and you don't do too much. You don't sit in there for hours. And then the second thing I would say is our season has prepared us for this moment. Think of how many close games we have been in.
Yeah.
Now, we lost a couple late to Alabama and to Ole Miss. I don't regret any decision I made about sitting Flage out. It did not – a single loss bothers me because that's my personality, but at the cost of what? My decision was not to play her until we get to the playoffs. It was the right decision. She has got just a lot more pep in her step. She's healthy. And just keep doing what you do. The season prepares you for this. So we've had a lot of close games, and I hope Ole Miss goes and plays UCLA and upsets them, and then we get a we get to, well, I guess you'd say it's an upset because NC State is a 2 seed and we're a 3 seed, so I guess we're not supposed to win. And then I'd love to see 2 SEC teams going at it for a shot at the Final Four. But let me say this, guys, before I hang up.
Absolutely.
Juju Watkins is a star in our game.
Yep.
And she went down last night with a ACL injury on really just things you do in the game. Nobody did anything dirty. It was just so sad to watch and see, and I knew when she went down that it was torn. You just know by the look of the knee, you know by the reaction of the face, and just think about that young lady and her family. And the thing I would tell her as her coach is this is fixable. This is fixable. Tamaya Smith is a great example of that. She's been through 2 ACL tears, 1 on each knee, but she's such a great ambassador for our game, and that's going to be the talk of the playoffs from here on.
I mean, 2 ACLs for Shemaya Smith, and last night, 20 points, 12 boards, 6 assists in 36 minutes. The key to when the foul trouble reared its ugly head. So, yeah, great message there to Juju Watkins and her camp. You will come back stronger from this. Coach, we really cannot thank you enough. I know it's an incredibly busy time. Have safe travels. Best of luck. All of Baton Rouge, all of Louisiana, going to be cheering for y'all. And you have an excellent week.
We're the only one left in the Great Boot, right? We're the only one playing in the tournament, so let's go make it fun.
Let's go, baby. Support the Boot. Support this LSU women's basketball team. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Coach Kim Mulkey, living legend. Not often, that's not hyperbole. Not often can you say that it's not hyperbole. And, I mean, what a thoughtful person to out of nowhere shout out Juju Watkins like that and just kind of point out that at these times, just empathy and supporting her are important to think about. God, I love Coach. Anyway, when we get back here on OTB, let's wrap up hour number 2.
Off the bench.
Here on OTB, we are proud to have a brand new sponsor, and that's our friends over there at Cool Pro HVAC. Any of your HVAC needs, trust the local guys at Cool Pro, where they stay on top of your system for preventative maintenance, right? So you avoid the hyper expensive catastrophic issues down the road. Also, unlike a lot of the local HVACs here, which are no longer local, they're bought up by private equity. That is not the case with Cool Pro, where customer service comes first because, again, they are your neighbors. That's who we love doing commercials for. And check out the Pro membership, okay? No monthly fees, a flat $99 for the entire year. Gets you priority scheduling, 1-hour service windows, the 24/7 monitoring. Go to coolprohvac.com today.
Yeah, when you go to the website, you'll see what T-Bob is talking about, and you are going to get a 1-hour window. You're going to know exactly when your tech is going to get there. Make that appointment today. You can also do it at 225-350-4397.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening? Okay, Taylor, I told you with a minute left because we go along with Coach as we do every week. She's an absolute legend, as we should. Cannot wait to watch this LSU team try to make this the Final Four. Again, one game at a time, but you got to feel pretty confident in that this is a team that you've already beaten pretty handily this year, but it's a tournament, whatever, whatever. But I said, Taylor, we got a minute. You come up with this segment. So, Taylor, what have you found?
But I'll actually give you credit for this one. This is something you mentioned earlier this morning. Carolyn Pickens, the standout pitcher for the Tennessee Volunteers, they recently played Duke, and she hit a 78.2 miles an hour on one of her pitches. Now, that sounds kind of fast, but that is the fastest softball pitch in NCAA college softball history. Craziest part, her and Ben Joyce, former Tennessee baseball player, Tennessee now owns the fastest softball pitch and baseball pitch in college history. Ben Joyce hit 105.5 miles per hour. This softball pitch is equivalent to like 110 mile an hour fastball. I mean, this is like Aroldis Chapman territory. This is insane.
Even more so. There we go, Tay. Nice job. You covered it all. Hour 3, Nick Underhill coming up next. We're going to take NFL story of the day. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench.
K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living, man. You go to KTOZBlinds.com. That's a website where you can set up that free consultation with Brandon Barton and his team as they come out to your home. And within a matter of a few minutes, you're going to know exactly how the sunlight interacts with your home and what your options are, okay? Whether it's drapery and shades and whatnot for the inside, you want to get some shutters for outside, maybe some drop-down exterior shading. Now's the time, guys, okay? Poxtani Phil is finally about to run out of runway. Though we should say we've had a great spring here recently. It's actually been fantastic. But whatever, the point is, you want to stay cool in the backyard this summer, get you some drop-down exterior shading from K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living.
Yeah, they've been doing it since 2004, and you'll go check out the reviews. You're going to get 5 stars across the board there. They've done it for me. They'll do it for you. They're going to know your space. It's actually pretty amazing. They're going to come in, know your space like in 10 minutes time, and they're going to know exactly what you need. Go to the website today. That's KTOZBlinds.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-34.
Good morning. It's at 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, March 25th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 81. In hour 3 of today's show, we have Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football breaking down some New Orleans Saints. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome into hour number 3. We're making it, baby! It is Tuesday at 9 a.m., which means it's time to talk to the autist himself, Nick Underhill, at Nick_Underhill on Twitter. The man behind New Orleans Football, where they do an incredible job of covering your New Orleans Saints. Nicky, what's up, brother? How we feeling today?
Hey, doing great. How you guys doing?
We're doing well, man. Well, that's kind of a lie. I'm not feeling great today, but you know what we're doing? We're trying to fake it till we make it. We are pushing through. I have a few different topics I want to ask you about here, but let's start with the signing of Dylan Radunes. No, I'm just kidding. Brandon Cooks. Ugo Amadi. No, let's start with Brandon Cooks. Do you find, and this is something we talked about yesterday, what does the Brandon Cooks signing signal for what the Saints plan to do in the draft, if it signals anything at all?
I don't know. To me, like, it kind of felt like they needed to get a third guy at that position, and he just ended up being the best value for that spot. And you start looking at it, and I don't know, $13 million sounds like a lot over 2 years, but with the way the league's going, it's really just kind of what guys get paid at the league minimum. Like, you're paying $6 million for 400 receiving yards now. That's just what it costs to get it.
That's crazy. So that's kind of the going rate, $6 million per 400 yards?
Yeah, I mean that's just where the league's kind of at right now.
There you go.
I would like this signing if they didn't have two other 6 foot tall guys that were 180 pounds. Like I don't know why you need to have 3 of those.
Well, because they
That's
get
where
hurt. So they get hurt. So now you'll always have maybe 1 or 2 of the 3 available.
Yeah, and I mean, look, that's probably the part of the reasoning behind it. I think best case scenario, if you had to ballpark it, if we were like, hey, how many games are you going to get combined out of Shaheed and Olave next year? I think you probably set the over under at like 24-25. Like those guys miss time. Like that's just kind of what it is. But I would have liked the signing a whole lot more if he was 6'3". It just would feel different. It feels like that's what they're missing. But on its own, I don't mind the addition. I just don't like that they still feel like they don't have an answer for this thing that's been lacking since Mike Thomas rolled his ankle against Tampa Bay, however many years ago it was. And it just feels like it's still a little bit unaddressed. So I think wide receiver is still an open position in the draft. I don't think this satiates it at all in any way where you're like, this is good, this is done. I think he's just he's the third guy right now, and hopefully by the time the season starts, he's the fourth.
That's what we were talking about with making this move, because if you were going to sign a receiver kind of in the same thought process, like MVS is 6'4", 206, and he got, 1 year, $4 million, I think, from Seattle. And so that was a surprising thing to me, is just because you had somebody in the building that actually played pretty well for you that was different than those other 2 receivers that we're talking about.
Yeah, I would have felt differently about him than I do Cooks, and I think Cooks is probably a better player. It's just the fit is just so, I don't know, it's so weird to me. Like who's going over the middle and making a play? Like you don't have anybody that can traditionally, be in that mold. You don't have anybody that's making, a tight catch in the red zone. You don't really have anyone you can throw open. I just don't like where they're at right now. And it was just such an obvious need last year, and it still feels like such an obvious need now. And if this was just Keenan Allen, I would feel different. I don't know. It just feels like something's super lacking, but there are going to be good receivers at 9. There's going to be good receivers at 40. I think they'll probably still try to address it in the draft, but it still feels like a huge, massive need to me. And paying Juwan Johnson $10 million doesn't make him a $10 million player. Like, you still need somebody that can do that in the red zone. And I don't think they have that player that you can consistently count on 3rd and 3. Like, you just got to go find them somewhere.
So then let's get to the draft, because I have a couple questions there that I want to ask you about. Are you starting to lean Ted Aroa at 9 now?
I'm not. I mean, I'm probably going to go Genty and Warren all the way through the process. Okay. I think those are just the 2 guys that early on I heard they liked the most, and I hope at the end you still like the same players the most, because I don't feel like this is a team that should be placing current need over future prospects at all. Like, I think you should be looking more long term. I think there's years where you do have to prioritize that. 18 is a good example. You made a huge mistake trading up for Davenport, but that was a massive need, and that team was on the cusp of trying to win a Super Bowl. Like, I don't feel like you're in a place right now where it's like, well, we better draft someone we like a little bit less because we never addressed this need in free agency. I hope they just stay true to their board every single pick throughout this. I don't think they're at a place where they should be chasing anything. And even if Ty Warren isn't the guy you need the most today, if he's the best player, you're going to be in the best position 2 years from now. And I think that should just be kind of the view on the draft. But I like T-Mac. If they took him, I wouldn't be against it at all. I like him, and Will Johnson's another guy I kind of like at that spot too. But every now and then you see him in a mock around that range. He's usually a little bit lower, but I like him. I like him a little bit more than the guy from Texas. It's just kind of the health thing a little bit last year, but. Any of those guys, I feel like it's going to be really hard to make a bad pick at 9, as long as you draft it and make sure your board.
Don't tempt Mickey with a good time there.
Do
Nick.
not tempt him with a good time.
You do have knowledge, though, of the Saints' thought processes on these situations. We were playing with a hypothetical earlier. Taylor was kind of laying out, look, if Shedeur slips past the Giants, like, there's potentially a world where he goes like maybe all the way down to the teams or something like that. Do the Saints have any latent Shedeur Sanders desires a la Pat Mahomes all those years ago?
I would be really, really surprised. If they have Pat Mahomes desires, it would be for the guy that threw yesterday.
Okay, yeah. I mean, everybody's obsessed with Cam Ward now. It does feel, Nick, like he's become not just the clear number one pick because of who's available, but it seems like now people are starting to accept that Cam Ward is deserving of kind of being a number one pick in any year.
I mean, I think his talent's kind of crazy. I mean, he can do everything. I think it's just that consistency element. And if you were to bring him into your building, I really think it just comes down to whether or not you really truly have the belief that you can develop him or not. And I think a player like him, like, situation is going to be so important, and just getting the right coaching is going to be so important, just to kind of harvest everything he can do. But I mean, I don't know. Like, to me, he looks like he has great feet, great arm, great release. You watch him; he can go through his reads. He likes to throw the ball over the middle. A lot of young quarterbacks are tentative about that stuff. I like him. If I really believed in my staff, I would be having conversations about what it would take, or if it's possible, at least, just so you know. I think he's that good. But if you end up in the wrong spot, I think that's the case for any of these quarterbacks. So, and you kind of see it. Sam Darnold's a great example. You end up in the wrong spot, and your talent doesn't show. You end up in the right spot, and your talent can show. So I think it's so much about that, and I think with him, it's really going to be that. I don't think he's can't miss or a Joe Burrow level prospect by any means, but he's somebody that I think if you need a quarterback and you want a quarterback, I think there's some special stuff there. I think he's got a couple special traits, and if you're going to invest in someone high, you want to have at least one thing to hang your hat on. I think he has a couple, and I like him a lot, and I thought he looked good. I thought he looked really good yesterday. I mean, it is a pro day, and looking bad is the thing that's alarming. But
that fadeaway throw, though, Nick. I mean, boy, I think sexy as hell,
man. Yeah.
Nick, you mentioned Tyler Warren there quickly when talking about maybe potential places the Saints could go at 9. Let's say you make that move, and he's a hell of a football player, by the way. We saw how versatile he could be for Penn State. But now you do have Juwan Johnson, $10 million a year. The way Foster Moreau finished the year, obviously very strong note there. So you would have those two players already in that position room. Where do you think the Saints would utilize him? Like, where would he kind of live within the offense?
I think so. One of the things they really want to do is they want to be a high tempo team, and a team that can do a lot of no huddle stuff and kind of get in and out of a lot of different looks. And to me, a guy like Warren looks like someone that can just be an absolute weapon in those types of packages. And he feels like someone that you could just put on the field and line up a million different places. And we saw it at Penn State. He can play in line. He can flex. You can split him out. He ran the ball out of the backfield. I think you could. Theoretically, you could have a 3-snap sequence where he's carrying the ball, he's blocking, and then he's split out, and you just kind of have a mismatch, just a million different ways. And there was oh man, I'm so reluctant to say his name, but Aaron Hernandez, he was used kind of that way in New England. That second year, and it was just such a nightmare for other teams, and he could be a convincing tailback, and that was kind of the whole piece of it, and there was just absolutely no way to match up with them. Like, if you're too small, they're going to kill you with that. If you're, man, the words. But like, there's just a lot of ways they could beat you with this guy, and I think yeah, I know, man. I think there's just a lot of different ways you could use Ty Warren, and he could be a problem for your offense in that capacity, and that's such a backbone of what they want to do. And they have a really interesting looking package for these tempo and hurry up situations. They have a one-word offense. They have a two-word offense.
Yeah.
It can dictate. One word, you're kind of set, always going to one side. You can call it with 2 words where it's, one plays the concept, the other word is the side of the field you're running it to. They like to, ramp up to hyper speed. They like to kind of slow it down a little bit, but still not huddle. There's just a lot of stuff that they do to kind of mess with you with tempo. And I think the more versatile players you have, the more you can do within that. And, I think he could be a really, really interesting fit for specifically this offense because of the way they want to utilize their offense.
Oh, you get me a little hyped up for Todd Warren, dude. Hey, don't forget, he did play center as well, right?
That's right.
Against USC. Didn't he have a touchdown catch on a play in which he lined up at center?
Yep.
So he truly can do it all. Nick, I want to ask you about the most recently released article on New Orleans Football Today, and it is titled by Mike Triplett, "Seeking a Cure how new sports performance director Ted Rath plans to tackle these Saints injury issues. This is always something that's very hard to parse. How much of injuries is bad luck? How much could be prevented? I've seen this game with the Pelicans for years now. I remember being very excited, I think, when they got like Aaron Nelson from the Phoenix Suns. And if you look at the starting lineup that the Pelicans put out last night, which is all-time good, right up there with some of the Alexia Jinsa, Dante Cunningham lineups of yore, it didn't do anything, basically, right? So what is, like, and what you know about Ted Rath, do you think he can help, have an impact?
Here's why I think it could actually help, because we saw last year when they just changed some of the stuff they were doing in practice, the positive impact they had in it.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
I think some of that stuff was a little bit self-inflicted and just kind of with the preparation and maybe not taking care of all the details the way you needed to. And, I think just based on that, which is a better plan, I think you can prevent some of this stuff. And I also think last year was just unprecedented bad luck. Because you go back 2 years ago, and their injuries were league average, and then last year it was just out of this world bad. But I think it was due to some of those details going away. Maybe people, I think that's just part of your culture. Like, things start to erode a little bit, and maybe people stop paying attention to the details the way they should. And I think that was kind of part of that. But Rath has been really good everywhere, and I don't know. I think he'll probably be better than what they had here. At one point, he was voted twice. The whatever category it is, the strength and conditioning coach of the year, whatever that award is called. He was given that twice. So I think the theory of it makes a lot of sense. But I also understand if somebody feels snake bitten and they need to kind of see it before they believe in better progress there. But I kind of believe, I want to believe he's been around the right people. He's been around the right programs. Every program he's been around has been successful. There's a history of him turning things around and things getting a little bit better. Last year in Philly, you got let go in June, and I think there was a little bit of a dip. So I think part of it, too, is just kind of circumstantial, and you can't avoid everything. But I think anybody will be better than what they had last year. I mean, just the circumstance and the luck, and you do earn a lot of those.
Yep.
And I think they earned it just in general by kind of the culture just going to crap, and I think that was part of it.
Oh man, I missed this one, Nick. What we learned about Kellen Moore, Doug Nussmeier, and the Saints at the LSU coaching clinic. I was gonna let you go, but give me a quick bullet point on what you learned.
So it was just kind of cool to see those two up on stage. Like, we've never seen Kellen Moore talking that in front of a room of people as quote, a leader. And, I think you kind of look in his face and he's 36 and you see that, but he looks even younger than that. And it kind of makes you wonder, like, hey, what's he going to be like up on a stage leading the room? And then seeing him up there, just a presence, it's just somebody that seemed very smart, very detailed, very, very engaging, and had command of the room, knew what he wanted to say, knew how to say it, was effective communicating. And then Nussmeier coming up behind him, kind of being in the similar mold, but different, more of, kind of like the uncle is kind of how it felt, just someone that could bring it, but also is a little bit more personable and crack a joke and make you laugh a little bit. I think that yin and yang between the two of them was really good. Kellen talked for a while about just the language that they use in their offense and how they put it together and how they go through the process of choosing specific words to illustrate different things and then build out a family of those words so they're all related. So if you hear a W, it kind of triggers, okay, these are all the plays with W, and they all kind of go together. They might name them, their spacing concepts are, Pluto, Comet, Saturn, things like that. So it paints a picture of that, and just kind of seeing how they put the verbiage together. And he said, this was the most mind-blowing thing to me, is that they've ran 4 systems, and he said he's completely changed the language, all 4 systems, just to make sure it was catered to that specific place so they could use words that are related to Texas or L.A. or Philadelphia or New Orleans and Louisiana, and just kind of build out from that so that it's just kind of common words they're used to hearing. And it's probably something as simple as changing. I got my hands on a copy of one of his Cowboys playbooks, and like a lot of the plays are, Frisco, Austin, Dallas, just words that are related to Texas. It's just probably as simple as going, Slide Owl, Metairie, New Orleans, like whatever it is. But just kind of but just kind of changing that up and having to relearn it, every time is crazy. And it's just a level of detail that I think makes it hard to fail. And if you're going to take out some of those variables, it kind of makes me believe in the system, a little bit more, just knowing that they're going to try to fail safe this as much as possible. And it's not, hey, this is how we do it, you fit in. It's kind of, all right, how can we make it easier for you and still work for us at the same time, and kind of meet at that spot where it becomes a little bit easier, even if it becomes a little bit harder for us. And knowing that kind of was illustrative. And, I think it paints a picture of it becomes a little bit harder to screw up, And if you don't know the playbook at this point, I think it's more on the player than the system. And, I think that's where you want it to be.
Nick, can't thank you enough, man. Really great analysis. As always, New Orleans Love Football is a site guy. I've been a proud subscriber for years, especially with the draft around the corner, the film breakdowns, everything you want to sign up for New Orleans Love Football. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
All right, take it easy. Nick Underhill at Nick_Underhill. That's cool. I'm excited to dive into that piece on New Orleans Love Football. I missed it about the coaching clinic there. All right. When we get back here on OTB, I got a college football topic I want to get to. And we still got a Tay NFL story of the day. So keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
She packed my bags last night, pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m.
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta. It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
As a kite by then.
Did you see the Georgia girl that got arrested?
I did not.
Mm-mm.
So, what's her name? Lily something. We'll just say Lily. We don't need a complete doxer.
A lot of Lilies acting out, man.
But this girl, and you can just put a picture up there. She got arrested. Imagine this. She's a Georgia student. She got arrested for speeding because, of course, she did, right? She got pulled over, let off with a ticket, and then immediately went back to going 25 over and got pulled over, taken to jail, and then took the mugshot you see here on the left, Jake. If anybody who has ever taken a mugshot, you probably know it is near impossible to be attractive in a mugshot. She looks good in her mugshot, so she ends up going viral over the weekend, which of course she did. But that's not why I bring this up. The most insane part about all this, so she actually ends up getting the charges dropped from the arrest, from the speed. She's good to go. She's clean. She's free. She got arrested again this weekend. And that's the mugshot on the right.
Oh, no.
Only this time for prowling and obstruction of a police officer, which I cannot
prowling?
figure. Yes, I do not know.
I had to look this up yesterday. Lurking in an area with an intent to commit a crime.
Girl, what are we doing? Why are you turning to a life of crime?
She's super photogenic.
Very that's what I'm saying. It's impossible. I don't care how good looking you are.
What's funnier, she's
it is
actually
impossible
like
to be good looking
in her second photo.
Well, she looks crazier though.
She does look crazier, but
you can see a little bit of the unsettled nature behind the eyes of a person that gets arrested twice in 1 week.
For prowling, I would say she's probably like a situationship that was somewhere.
Oh my God!
And like maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Like
so
do you know? Does it say where she was?
She was doing a Todd Golden.
Does it say where she was when she was prowling?
No, all I've seen is prowling and obstruction of a police officer.
Okay, well she was probably prowling, looking to see what her situationship's up to.
Probably so. Probably so.
As a retired toxic person.
You understand where Lily?
I get
you understand where Lily's coming from?
Sometimes you got to prowl.
Have you ever done a prowl? Have you done a drive-by?
No.
Don't lie now.
Not for me.
She was
okay. So you did it for a friend.
I've done it with a friend before.
Foxhole
actually, probably a little too recent.
She was accessory to prowling.
An accessory to prowling?
She was accessory to prowling. She wasn't the one doing the prowling, but she was
I thought you were talking about Lily. You're talking about Alondra.
No. We prowled back in like December. I'm not going to lie.
What?
Yeah, probably a little too.
Prowling around Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Is that when Todd Golden was doing his prowling?
Maybe. I don't know. No, Todd Golden was before that, I feel like.
Yeah, because that was like right before the season, I think.
You can't be prowling at Christmas.
It was like.
What did you find out? Good or bad stuff or nothing at all?
Okay, so. It's not like it wasn't me. It was my friend,
Again,
and I was prowling with my friend.
Sure, absolutely, we believe.
And we were looking to see if somebody's truck was going to be in a driveway. It was not, so that's not good.
That's not good.
It was not good that his truck was not in the driveway. No.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad all's well that ends well. I guess I don't know. Did it end up working out for you?
I mean, it didn't at first, and now it's fine.
I'm glad we know what prowling is now, though, because like me and you were talking about it yesterday. I was like, I tried, like, for if at all possible to avoid committing crimes. I was like, I never know if I'm prowling because I don't know what that means.
It's Lily something.
Lily Stewart.
Lily Stewart. Okay, there you go.
It says it right here.
Okay.
I almost said Lily Phillips, but no, that's
right here on Twitter.
something else entirely.
All right.
All right, Tay-Tay, while Alondra's doing that, give me a Tay-Tay NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
So we have heard that the Cincinnati Bengals are trying to re-sign their defense even after signing T. Higgins to a massive $28 million per year contract with him being the number 2. Saw this yesterday. In 2013, the NFL salary cap was $123 million. Okay? Between Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, those 3 players are making $124 million per year. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins are making more than the entire NFL 2013 NFL salary cap. I don't know how they're going to do this, but that is a plan that they currently have. They're still working with Trey Hendrickson, but another wrench is fallen into the Trey Hendrickson bag. Hendrickson says since he was not traded, he is looking for a new deal. If he does not get a long-term deal with the money he thinks he deserves, Trey Hendrickson says he could sit out the entire 2025 NFL season.
I mean, it's all that's left to him. He's dominated, and nobody will pay him the money that he deserves.
For sure.
Have we gotten more detail on the T. Higgins contracts? I still feel like the T. Higgins contract is a little fake because they made very clear the language of first 2 years guaranteed.
Right.
And so are we actually dealing with a smaller number up front with big fake years on the back end? Well, we'll see.
So it's a 4-year, $115 million contract total.
Yeah.
But not all of that is guaranteed.
No, only the first 2 years are guaranteed. And we don't know what it breaks down to. What if it's like $6 million this year, like $18 the next or something?
So it looks like for 2025, it's going to be $5 million roster bonus, 6.25 restructure, but apparently like base salary, $13.8 million.
Okay. Never mind, a little more than I thought.
And then but next year it goes down to under $11 million.
Oh wow. So giving him some of that money up front and then likely going to
year 4 is the big one, $27 million.
Yeah, fake. Might as well be written on toilet paper, right?
That's the unfortunate part about the NFL for the most part, outside of a couple of key players. Quarterbacks is kind of becoming the norm, but if you don't play quarterback, guaranteed money is tough.
Even though, you saw a lot of contracts this offseason where players put the thumb on the scale for guaranteed money. I still laugh about the Stingley contract. 89 out of the 90 million guaranteed.
Just make it fully guaranteed.
I think the team just maybe didn't want to say maybe they didn't want to say.
They didn't want to say we gave this guy a fully guaranteed deal.
Yeah. So it's the last million was just a bridge too far.
I get it. It's one of those things where it's like if he gets hurt, you're like, you gave this guy a fully guaranteed deal. And he's not. No, we didn't.
No, $1 million. Not on the book.
We saved a milli.
A milli. Coming up next, I want to explore this question that ESPN had yesterday and has an LSU tie-in. But which non-college football playoff team from last season do you expect to make it in 2025? Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Welcome back to more sports talk with some other stuff mixed in. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Uh-oh. Just about being low energy. Could not have brought me back with a better song. Or better. To fight that low energy. Song makes me want to party hard. Roll. Disco. All of it. You ever watch this music video?
Watching it right now.
She's magnetic in this video. So ESPN had an article where one of the questions was, which non-college football playoff team from last season will make the playoff this fall? And they used their entire college football writing team on it. One team came away with 3 votes. One team came away with 2 votes. And then you had a few other ones. Who do y'all think led the way?
The LSU Tigers.
Close, but no cigar.
Can you ask the question one more time, please?
I'm going to go
Okay.
with the Ole Miss Rebels.
No. I think people are down on Ole Miss. They actually didn't even get answered once. Alabama got said 3 times.
Oh, duh.
Shocker.
Which, I mean, I get it. They were close last year, not for the Oklahoma collapse.
Who's their starting quarterback this year?
I'm kind of leaning towards it being Austin Mack. I mean, if it's Ty Simpson, that would be kind of worrying to me. Like, what has Ty Simpson been doing the entire time? The Bammers are trying to tell me that Austin Mack ran off Julian Sayin. And Ohio State loves Julian Sayin.
Nope.
But yeah, so Alabama got 3 answers. The one thing, so again, if they don't fall apart against OU, they make it. We get that. It's another year with DeBoer making it his image. It's Ryan Grubb joining the squad. Should be pretty good at all the different positions. Quarterback is a question mark, though. And I say should be pretty good at all positions, right? Because it's Alabama. They should have top-of-them talent. But, I'm be interested to see a couple years into this DeBoer thing, Jake, if Alabama is still as outlier
Rinse, wash, and
loaded.
repeat.
Yeah, if they're still as outlier loaded as we knew them to be every single year in the Saban era.
I don't know that anybody can be that loaded year after year after year now.
I mean, Ohio State still kind of is.
With things looking, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, they were a year ago, but we'll see if they're able to do it.
True.
That much more than the teams around them. I'm just saying, like the playing fields. Now that it's out in the open, it's more even.
We just got
with some of those big dogs,
We just got to check the blue chip ratios. Come fall time.
Can't wait for that.
Come fall time.
What's that guy who's lives and dies by it?
So, it's just that all the national championship teams have come from the over 50% blue chip ratio. Michigan being the closest that did not. I think maybe Florida State as well with Jameis back in the day was close to not, but whatever. So Alabama getting 3 votes. LSU, though, getting answered twice. And why not, right? You have all the talent through the portal and high school. You have the timing with Blake Baker being in year 2, Brian Kelly being in year 4. I guess my question marks would be a very tough schedule. Again, starting at Clemson seems like a nightmare. And then an O-line that's going to be completely remade. And really those two dovetail with each other because that O-line is going to be immediately tested by a Clemson D-line that features a couple of All-Americans there. Who else do y'all think got answered?
Louisville?
Oh, look at the big brain on Jake. Freaking nailed it. Louisville. Which, again, I think Clemson's going to be tough to fight through, but getting Miller Moss. And I didn't know this, but this is what they write in the article.
My head just went to who got a quarterback and who was not that far away a year ago.
Yeah, they lost like 4 games, like 7 points, I think.
Yeah.
But here's a quote from the article that we got to look into more. Quote, may have the best O-line in the ACC and one of the best nationally, and its 2 tailbacks, Isaac Brown and Duke Watson, are absolutely electric. So Louisville bringing a running game to bear.
And since Brom's come over from Purdue, I mean, they have done a fantastic job in the portal of not only identifying players that are good players, but that also fit what they're trying to get done there. So I think Miller Moss is going to go up another notch. And the guy that you saw in Las Vegas against LSU, I think, could be there for the totality of the season. And the ACC's down, too.
So one of ESPN's writers, Andrea Adelson, falling into a trap as old as time.
Aggies.
Adelson,
excuse me.
She'll correct you. That's why.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Anelson? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But, yeah, she said Texas A&M. Which, again, I think I actually fall into the Texas A&M trap every single year as well. So catch me like 2 weeks before the season starts, and I'll probably be doing like I don't know.
Same thing every
Mike,
year.
but it's Mike Elko, year 2, 7th in the country in returning production. Right? They got Concepcion, Jake.
Yeah,
from NC State.
He's a good player.
He's a Swiss
beast.
Army knife.
They got Marcel Reed back. I mean, is this Texas A&M's year?
No.
Eventually, it has to be.
No, it doesn't.
No,
Yeah,
it's had to be their year for a very long time.
Is a championship caliber program. See, everybody
But the
else,
bar is now making the playoff, and that's a way smaller bar.
Everybody else believes that Texas A&M has underachieved. I do not. I think Texas A&M is now what they have always been. That's just who they are. Some people are championship contenders. Some people are 8-4. Texas A&M is what they are what they are.
They are who we thought they were.
They are, yeah.
Texas 8-4.
He almost said they is what they is.
Hey, I am what I am.
I am's what I am.
Go to Boudreaux's Electrical, where they are what they are, and what they are is your premier Generac home generator dealer and have been family-owned and operated since 1982, where their core guiding philosophy is that the customer, every single customer, is a VIP. And because they're a family business, they're able to approach their business in such a manner, right, without some of the more ruthless, non-consumer-friendly decisions that get made at all these other companies that are run by private equity corporations, blah, blah, blah. Not the case over there at Boudreaux's Electrical. Again, customer comes first. They've even gone out in the middle of hurricanes, cutting down trees to get to a system to make sure it's up and running. So you want more power, you want more protection, you want 24/7 monitoring so your system's ready to go when you need it. You want to go to Boudreaux's Electrical today. Great financing options as well. So it's $159 a month. Check them out, Boudreaux's Electrical. Who do y'all think could make it from the Big 12? Because somebody's going to. Obviously, Arizona State would have you. We would think they would have a great shot at repeating, but it's such a wide open conference. Is it BYU? I'm a big Rocco Becht guy, though I don't know what they're going to do in replacing those receivers, but I love Rocco getting basically killed in the Big 12 game, only to come back and look pretty frisky. And then Texas Tech, right?
I was about to say.
So much made of Texas Tech transfer portal class and Texas Tech throwing money at this thing. And Joey McGuire kind of feels like his last stand to me to prove as to whether or not he can be that guy. Jake, who's your Big 12 team?
I'm going to go back with Arizona State again.
Even post-Scadaboo.
Post-Scadaboo. I think Kenny Dillingham has shown what he can do with quarterbacks, no matter if he's been an assistant, if he's been a head coach. He gets the most out of that position. Levitt is a guy that already is a stud. So if he goes up another level, you get Jordan Tyson back.
Oh, yeah, Tyson's back?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
you
know
missed
that.
him. Obviously, if you have him against Texas, I think you win the game. So Scadaboo was a dog. It's going to be tough to replace him. But if you're trying to replace a marquee position, running back's going to be one of your easier ones to replace. Outside of, a quarterback, it's incredibly difficult. Your top receiver, difficult. Running back, not as difficult. So I think Arizona State's going to run it back.
Did Scadaboo end up running a 40 at the Big 12 Pro Day?
I don't think he did. I don't think we have a 40 time on
You know what?
Scadaboo.
You know what? After the Xavier Restrepo drama,
Let's see.
I don't hate it. Scadaboo saying, I got a twisted ankle. My film speaks for itself. Hell yeah, Cam. Do your thing. All right. When we get back, let's go ahead and do a little Ask the Bench.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota. You got one?
No, hamstring issue.
Yes. God, Xavier, that's all it took. That's all it took. A simple hamstring issue. You'll never feel hamstrung when you work with your friends over there at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge because they have excellent selection at excellent prices with unbeatable customer service. Unless you think I'm joking, put them to the test, okay? The service center and the body shop are open to all makes and models. Bring your vehicle in today. Mention OTB. Get $250 towards that deductible. Take advantage of the free professional estimates, the excellent line of communications. You can choose texting or calling. There's always a human being on the other end immediately answering you. And no decisions are made without you giving the go-ahead. So you can start to experience some of the customer service. And if you're in market for a new vehicle, Toyota certified used vehicle, you want to lease, you want to rent, they got it all of an airline in Goodwood, very conveniently located. Been with us for many, many moons now. Love you, All-Star Toyota. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Can you imagine seeing him in the PMAC back in the day?
Saw Elton John in the Cajun Dome.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. Seeing Elton John live would be incredible.
I've seen him 3 times.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He came up to Brookshire's Arena up in Bossier City a couple times.
Wow. Ask the bench. What's the appropriate number of cars you will pass on a 2-lane highway when stuck behind some slow driver? 1, 2, 3, more than 3? It's in your opinion, not what's legal per se.
3.
I mean, it depends on how busy, but
To
2
be
or 3 is
3,
typically
it's got to be really, really slow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a 1.
I'm usually 2 max.
Yeah, I'm kind of a 1. I'd be scared to do 3, I think.
Now you look at your GPS, you make sure there's no turns coming.
Yep.
Right? You make sure it's a straightaway. You make sure there's no hills, it's flat.
Yeah.
So you can see. Sorry, Bilbo, hills. And then you make sure that you can pass, and then you're good.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
no. I mean, yes, you can handle it, but
So you got to be aware of the surrounding.
It's a tense time.
It is.
When you're in that left lane trying to get in front of 3.
Katie makes fun of me all the time because she says I do too much. Like I rev and get it. Like she's like, you don't have to.
No,
do
you
all
got to
that."
get quick. You
That's
got
what I
to go quick.
say.
You got to go in and out. Like you got to go pedal to the metal. There's no calmly passing. Ask the bench, which movie world would you like to live in permanently? You know, Star Wars, Harry Potter, or whatever. Not Star Wars. Seems kind of like an awful world to live in.
I mean, so does Harry Potter, though, right? Like,
not if you're like a student.
everything in the
magic
school tries to kill you.
Yeah, but not a lot of kids die. You know, not really. Also, can you imagine like cozying up in the common room, making out next to the fire? The hookup potential would be crazy.
I guess I'd have to see my options.
Any movie world. Engorge ya. Harry Potter's a strong answer. What about like a future world where everything's perfect, like utopia? I don't know. Hashtag Ask the Bench again, brain fog. What is the one weird thing you like to put into crawfish bowl? I don't know. I don't boil
Weird,
my
but I
own
like
crawfish.
putting garlic in there.
Yeah, I mean garlic's the best. Garlic's the best.
Not
fixin'.
everybody does that though.
That's crazy. I'd be sorely
Like artichokes
upset.
in there.
Oh, that sounds very good. Never had
Yeah,
that.
artichokes
Sounds
are
awesome.
good.
Love a good artichoke.
Yep.
Dipped in butter.
Hot dogs. I mean, I don't know how weird that is, but Victoria's family does
I'd
hot
never
dogs.
say no to that.
I've never seen that.
Victoria's family does it. Like her side.
I know, redneck bowl.
It's good.
Ah.
They do sausage as well, but like they drop hot dogs in there.
Like full hot dogs.
Mhm.
Full wieners. All right.
Yep.
Oh, not chopped up.
No, just like whole.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Who's your favorite Bond?
James.
Pierce Brosnan, actually, for me.
I mean, that's who I grew up on. But aren't you like a Bond guy?
Yeah.
Haven't you seen like
I'll
all the
say Sean
Connerys
Connery.
and Roger
Yeah,
Moores
I'm
and
going
everything?
Sean Connery.
I
best
have,
Bond.
yeah. I don't know. I know I love Connery too, but something about Pierce Brosnan.
If I was going to sleep with a Bond, I think Connery has the most animalistic attraction to him.
The
And I
accent
love Pierce
helps
Brosnan,
too.
But
The good.
Pierce is a little pretty boy. Connery's all man. Ask the Bench. Kamish put sweet potatoes in the bowl. That sounds great. Zootopia. Next question. Zootopia would be a pretty fun world to live in, actually. Oh, wait, we need a couple more questions, guys, while you get them in there. Remember, Tommy's Windows Doors and Siding, GEAUXTommys.com. Go Tommys.com is the website. You want Hardy Plank, Vada Siding, wood or vinyl windows. You want any type of doors. Tommy has energy-efficient options that save you money over time, pay for themselves, and lifetime warranties, guys. Are you kidding me? Because that's the exceptional service that you get from Tommy's. Speaking of exceptional, is the reason why every year they've been in existence now. 8 years, they won that Angie Super Service Award, okay? That ain't by accident. It's with consistency of the product. Go Tommys.com, GEAUXTommys.com. Ask the Bench, do you think the meaning of life is something we create for ourselves, or is it something that exists independently waiting to be discovered? Absolutely the former. Wouldn't the meaning of life mean different things to different people?
Sure.
Jesus, guys. No one's even going to like attempt to shoot out an answer?
That's a deep thought.
That's a
though,
deep
man.
thought. I'd rather just say, ask the bench. So if it's true what they say about eating pineapple, what happens if you eat a crawfish boiled pineapple?
Spicy nut? Sweet and spicy.
Ask the bench, what super expensive sports car would you most want?
Literally
I guess they
none.
think like more exotic.
Literally none. I don't care about cars in the slightest.
I wouldn't want an expensive sports car. I would love a 1971 Dodge Challenger.
Yeah, see, I'm with you. I like the classic cars, but I want a 70 Chevy Chevelle.
All right, guys. We love you. Have a great day. Beat UL. Those bums. Rage your review. We're coming for you.
Softball and baseball.
More to be coming.
Off the bench.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.